Oh, yeah. Let's do the Warpstone Cup. What is up, guys? How are you all doing today here? Wanted to see a cat. See a cat right there. Let me see if I can get it shot. Oh, there it is. Oh, bye, Ninja. All right, guys. So we are ready today here. We're to have some fun. We got Jen on occasion. We got King of the Dead. They're just ripping and roaring here, ready to start us all off. Take a look at this. Take a look at that. Got a little scoreboard going there for you. Made that in like 2 minutes flat. Looks like shit, but you know what? I'll take it for right now. Dude, so it actually took me a... Hey, what's up, big boy? It took me a little bit of time to start this because I went to go, like, fill up this cup with G fuel, which makes me, like, fucking wired. But I went to go into the bathroom to, like, fill it up, and I look over in the fucking shower, and he's just sitting there like... Okay, I'll just... Alright, man, I'm taking a picture of this. Alright. Let's have some fucking fun! So, today we have got King of the Dead versus Jen on Occasion. Jen on Occasion is our very first actual winner of the Warpstone Cup. I guess I call this the Warpstone Grand Cup because it's Scaveny. Like, oh, you know, cup, yes, yeah! And, why did you block Rich Roll? I work with him and he seems upset about it. I didn't block Rich Roll, brother. So, I can look into that for you right now. Let me take a look in a book. We also have two of the other winners of Warpstone Cups, Zythos and Zero. So, interestingly enough, it's number 1 and number 3 versus number 2 and number 4. Take a look here real fast. Sorry, guys. Just want to look into this really quick. This Ritual is a huge supporter of the channel. Want to make sure he gets a chance to action. I don't remember where I looked this in. Oh. But if you want to see what maps we will be playing today, we have them below. You can see them in the description below. You'll be able to see everything that we have as far as our map seeds, what they're going to look like for both maps. The first two of these will be the 2v2 right here, or the 1v1. Those will be the best of 3. The actual final match will be a best of 5. 20% of your donations will go towards, or that's 25, I can't remember. Will go towards the winner. So if you make any donations here today, those do go towards the winner at the end of this stream. But I'll have to look at it during an intermission, but I'll take a look later. Oh. Hey, Misha, I'm not sure why we did that, but okay. Oh, maybe it hasn't updated yet, but it should say it down there. Okay. Either way, let's get going. We've got both these armies ready here. I'll put up that blocker for those of us being classy here. And we will get things started. I think we're all ready here. Ready when you guys are, probably. All right. Well, let's jump into that first one, huh? I am stoked. So we got Beastmen versus Chaos. A very interesting matchup here because you've got Beastmen, which in of themselves are they have become this a lot more of this this toolkit type army, right? Where you can build things in a lot of different ways. And Warriors of Chaos have always kind of been this stalwart elite infantry, monsters type army. So these two clashing together should be pretty interesting here. What I think that King of the Dead is going to have to field is probably a little bit wider of a line. Centaurs are always going to be a huge benefit here. And then some spooky, scary monsters from Janet on occasion will probably be really good against the Beastmen. We'll take a look here. Actually, even just a stalwart front line. I always check to see if the cat's like behind me just watching, like, shut that down there. Let's see what we get. Hey, Ninja Hunt, how are you? So we were playing on the Steppes of Aisha map, the Heartland. I chose this map because I actually don't think a lot of people have the Steppes of Aisha downloaded. They're gorgeous maps. They're all very, very difficult too. And that's kind of why I chose this, because it creates a more interesting engagement, that it's not just strictly, okay, how do these two forces smash together? So let's see how this goes here today. We're going to have General on Occasion against King of the Dead here. You have our scoreboard up. I'm gonna bring that down as the fight gets going here. Now, General on Occasion won our very first Warpstone Cup. King of the Dead has come back for 2 Warpstone Cups now. He was in number 4 and number 3, and won number 3, but lost in number 4 against Zero, who is returning here today as well. So this should be a very fun, like, kind of, you know, battle of the best when it comes to Warpstone Cup. Oh. Turn that up a little bit. I can barely hear the sound. All right, so we will take a look here at our Beastmen army to start off with. We have the Destroyers of Drakvalg Forest, which are a nice little unit here. They do have poison attacks, and they also have stock, which is kind of nice. You know, again, your typical kind of anti-large spear infantry unit here, but it looks like King of the Dead, and this is kind of King of the Dead's forte. He loves playing Beastmen, and he loves playing Tomb Kings. They're his 2 best armies, I'd say. But you can see we've got 5 total units of spears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including the Regiments of Renown. Then we've got 3 units of Minotaurs here. 2 with shields, it looks like, and then the Regiments of Renown version with shields as well. Look at the Moo Masters right here, right? The Butchers of Kalkengard. Now these guys, they cause terror, they've got AP. Now the nice thing about them though is, boom, regeneration. So these guys will be able to regenerate their health the entire combat, as long as they can pull in and out of combat and kind of keep that ebb and flow going. Typically Minotaurs are kind of used in that kind of shock and awe type of engagement, where you get up close, you do a little damage, and you pull out to get a little regen, or into a next target. You can use them so well as these really great, like, shock cav units. Now, we have Malgar the Dark Omen here, and he looks like he went with Mantle of Gork, or not Gork, Gorrock, wrong person, Bray Scream, and that's about it. Oh, and the icon of vilification here. Now, good choice here. Malgar the Dark Omen, we are starting to see a lot more of the competitive. It used to just be like, not Kolek's Chaos. Bag of crap on the back of his head. I can't remember his name on the top of my head right now. My brain's a million miles a minute. But now we start to see Malgar a lot more often. He isn't as tanky, though, as the other Beastmen, so you do have to be pretty careful with him in your army. But he is nonetheless a great addition. He has a lot of really great benefits in of that self. But the Gorbull has come back. The Gorbull has been a huge staple in Total War Warhammer 1. It's starting to come back in full swing here again in Warhammer 2. So glad to see that back in full force here. Now, as far as the rest of the army goes, we've got 2 units of Razor Gores. Yeah, the Bacon Masters themselves. Farmer John's Own, Razor Gore Herds. These guys are great because they're anti-infantry and they're AP. Used to be a lot stronger in Warhammer 1, but they are, again, making a resurgence. Now, 2 units of Centaurs and 2 units of Chaos Warhounds with Poison, which would be great here to kind of harass that back line. Now, for General on Occasion, we have got a nice front line of Marauders, Forsaken, and Marauders. Now, the Demon Spew here are the Forsaken Regiments of Renown. Take a look at these badasses. Boom, right there. They've got Swarm of Flies, which is a reduction to the melee attack of anyone they get in combat with, which is so great. They also have poison attacks, and they're very, very fast. The big thing with Forsaken is their charge bonus. You want to make sure you get them in on a charge. If you take a look at them compared to Marauders, they have almost double the charge bonus of a Marauder, or even, particularly a Warrior's 10 versus the 34 of Forsaken. They're very fast at 46 movement speed, which is extreme. That's 10 times more than a High Elf Spearman unit, which is typically one of the more faster of the ground unit. My brother with his tabletop Beastman army. The scoreboard's in the way. Well, let's get rid of that scoreboard. There we go. And now we have the Veered spawn as well, which have also made a nice little resurgence here because they do have a little awesome Sunder armor, minus 30 to the armor of other things for some Chaos spawn. And we also have the lovely Sartoriel. Now, Sartoriel is the master of metal magic here. There we go. So we're going to see Searing Doom being used on him, Plague of Rust, and Transmutation of Lead. No final transmutation, awkwardly enough. But we also have a nice front line, or back line, of Chaos Warriors with, looks like 2 with halberds, 1 with great weapons, and then finally, the other boys in the band, The Summoners of Rage. Now, these are probably some of my favorite Regiments of Renown units. These badass green and yellowish dragon ogres who also have, boom, Chain Lightning. Boom, Chain Lightning that they can cast. But they're very, very strong into themselves with their anti-large here. And you can see with a lot of these halberd anti-large, they're going to be a huge threat on the battlefield to some of those Minotaurs. All right, let's see how this kind of goes here, huh? We have our first match of the Warpstone Grand Final Cup going off here today. We're going to see how this kicks in. Those Centaurs can probably do quite a bit of damage here to the flanks of General Occasion's army, but he does have a very strong kind of central core. So he does have Sartorial who can beat around a lot of this army because the majority of it is chaff. Those Razor Cores are going to have a lot of they're going to have a hard time getting through some of these heavier units with the Chaos Warriors in the background here. So let's see how this all pans out. Guys, do let me know if my microphone does drop. I thought I fixed the problem, but there's always a chance it could happen, so please do let me know. A good kind of an early engagement here. Janet's trying to root out these Centaurs, keep them locked down with their poison, which is really good here. It's going to slow them down. They're not going to win this fight by any stretch of the imagination, but with the Summoners of Rage coming in there to just drown them with some electric thunder right there. Look at that. Bring in the 80 synthesizer on their keytars that they just kind of bring all the way through the forest. Jesus Christ, I actually see all that? Also got some Marauders trying to root out these left field engagements, but man, those Baconators are going to rip right through them. Farmer John is just going to deliver that side of the ham right there. But he is reinforcing with Chaos Warriors with Halberds, which is a good move there initially. Razor Gore is pushing into those Forsaken, which is a poor move here because you do want those Forsaken to get that charge in there. If they don't get that charge in, it's not going to be as beneficial. A big, huge engagement here for King of the Dead. Really worked out in his advantage over here with these Forsaken, knocking them down to half health already. None of the Forsaken were able to get their charge off, but what you can do is move them around to get the charge you want. Sartorial does have to watch out for that Gorple because he's looking to just kind of smack things around. Here's a quick shot at the scoreboard here real quick for you guys. It's 0-0. This is still the first match. We'll see this getting going here. But you can see that everything on this eastern flank kind of fixed it or mucked everything up and is pushing now over here. The Summoners of Rage are now in this fight. A nice Chain Lightning could do really well for Jen on occasion here, but you can see this left flank is kind of obliquely shattering, and you're getting these Chaos Warrior halberds with halberds pushing deeper and deeper in. The hills are alive with the sound of hooves. The Butchers of Kalkengard here, utilizing their regeneration, pulling back a little bit after Plague of Rust has been triggered on them. That minus 30 to armor is not going to be great. They're hanging back, waiting for that to wear off, getting that good regeneration going. Oh man, Sartorial and Malagor just duking it out. And this is not a good engagement for Malagor. He's up around the Summoners of Rage. He's in there with Sartorial. He's getting surrounded by some Marauders to help pin him in there. It's not going to go well for him. Oh! The Pigeon Master himself punted across New York Times Square. He has triggered Arcane Conduit, trying to get some additional winds of magic going in here, but it's looking pretty hectic over here, right? We're still at an even balance of power. We're going to look like we're getting a massive surge through the back line of Centaurs and Razor Gores. They're going to get a nice rear charge into the majority of this Chaos army here. Get a nice sweeping look at that right there. Baconators jumping in onto those Chaos Warriors. Those are the ones with halberds, though, so it's not going to be the best target for them. Sartorial trying to go deeper onto Malagor Dark Omen, but he is kind of jumping over into these Minotaurs, which can be a little bit risky, getting smacked around by some tusks and hooves. You can see that the Chaos have kind of made this very defensive pocket here, and the majority of the Beastmen are kind of scattered around them, but they're not in good shape here. You've got 2 units of Minotaurs that are almost completely gone. You've got this unit. Oh, there goes those unit of Razor Gore herds. The Razor Gore herds they seem really strong on paper, but they have a low unit count. They have a high propensity just to flee from leadership alone, and they're not the most defensive unit in the game. Take a look at this. They have a melee defense of 16 and an armor of 45, so they can really just get mulched up so fast. Even against a base Spearman unit, can really do a lot of damage to them, so you have to be very careful. Man, look at this. Look at this Chaos fight just going on. You got the Warriors of Chaos and the Beasts of Chaos, which split into their own books and came back together on their own books and split into their own books on the tabletop. Uh-oh, Malagor is just up against some Summoners of Rage. That is no good for him. But the Summoner's Rage of themselves are kind of dwindling here. They're at a good 8 models, which is a little bit below... Chain Lightning ripping off into the side here, not doing as much as it originally wanted. And I think that the Beastmen are going to start having a hard time here. Bounce power is shifting heavily in the favor of the Warriors of Chaos. This looks like this first fight is going to pull up in the lead of Janet on occasion. You can see Sartoriel just kind of chucking about. You know not to change your rough ways. And I think that's it. That is it for Malagor there, as he just gets beaten with the Keytars. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with Nick and I, or like Turn and I, like making the weirdest associations with like weird things like, oh yeah, there he is, the Pigeon Master, going into the bed of that bread with his lovely Keytars. But a great first game here. We're looking at Janet on occasion pulling up ahead of King of the Dead 1-0 in the first round. Let's go ahead and put that blocker up there while they switch up their choices. I'm also going to switch up the map, which is going to go to Carrick Asgal. Find that on here. And let me update the scoreboard. Oh, great, I opened up Premiere. That's a good thing to do. Okay, we'll bring open this. There it is. Scoreboard updated. A lot more easy to do this way. Like, Turn taught me about this way, and I was like, ooh, this is way easier. All right, guys. Oh, man, 220-some people here. Make sure you're hitting that like button, guys. Press the thumb. Thumb me up, guys. Always a good thing, good idea to do that. Also, like I was saying, guys, 20% of all of your donations are going towards the winner of the Warpstone Cup here today. Vlad Tudor, you're asking, when can I fight in your Warpstone Cup? Just get in Turn Nice Discord. We'll get you going, brother. My Sartoriel sounds exactly how I want my Sartoriel to sound. Alright, Dicey, have a good one, dude. Well, guys, either way, Misha, 20, 25, there's got to be some serious motherfucking thumbs up. Go ahead and press that like button. Do it for... That's not Antonio Banderas. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Dude, that's not Double Impact. Although I love that fucking movie. That's Kickboxer. Waiting for that second match. It looks like we're doing Tomb Kings versus Bretonnia, and Tomb Kings is King of the Dead. Oh!
Fortune favors the infamous.
$5 for the wife beater. Thanks, man. Our first donation here has been made. I'm keeping a note of that. So $5.49 in that's a euro. But Janet on occasion is ahead 1 here. King of the Dead is playing his favorite faction, the Tomb Kings, and Janet on occasion is going to be playing Bretonnia. A hard matchup just because Bretonnia does require a good deal of micro, but I know Janet on occasion, and he does not. He won't shrink down from the challenge from the Lady of Bretonnia. I don't know why it's German, like a German French. Scary skeletons versus the French. It's Dr. Z. Truer words have never been spoken, brother. Need to like pivot down a little bit more. I was going to get my green screen set up, but I'm afraid to set up the green screen because I have to keep the door open because it gets so hot in here. But I want these fucking cats just like jumping on it. Ripping all the way down. Alright, as soon as Janet is ready, we will get going here. Looking at both of these players. This new spectator mode is really fucking cool. Kind of weird to see the CPU screens in the TV. Hold, please. Well, that should change that. My head will kind of block the rest of it, but what you're really seeing is the reflection of my window. Hey, what's up, Chris? Psst, psst. No, I did not get a new mic. I moved the USB port. All right, so let's get this going here. Oh, another donation from Teddy Bear. For the guitar references. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it very much. Again, guys, 20, whatever percentage, 20, 25. I can't remember what it was. The screen said 25. All right, so yeah, it's 25. 25% of donations do go towards the winner. So right now we're at about 15 some odd dollars. We'll be going to, or 15 some odd dollars is the total. How do I like living in Thousand Oaks? I'd like it a lot more if it wasn't being shut up and on fire. I'll tell you fucking that much for sure. For those of you guys who don't know, I was evacuated because of the Woolsey fire. Came like very, very close to my place. So it's been a very crazy past week. But let's take a look at what we got. So, King of the Dead here is lining up his Tomb Kings. Jan on occasion is lining up his... there we go. Is lining up his Bretonians here. So, we're in for a glory... Oh! Don't want to ruin that surprise. So, we've got a nice, good front line of Tomb Guard here. Couldn't speak more... What is my brain going with? That's what I'd like to see, is what I'm trying to say. A good front line of Tomb Guard, supported by some backup Tomb Guard with halberds. Great choice here. Some Nehekaran horsemen, which are, interestingly enough, not a terrible choice. So these are not the skeleton horsemen, which are the fast cav. These are the actual kind of cav variant for the Tomb Kings. And these guys are going to be really great to screen some of the cav charges from the Bretonians. And if Jen on occasion decides to go light cavalry build, these guys will be really strong against them because they are anti-infantry. They could do quite a bit of damage to just basic infantry. They will not stand up in a single cav fight, but still, the point with these will be to very much like kind of tar pit or muck up any kind of charges. Now, King Nekef's Scorpion Legion here are just the poison regiment of renown version of the spear infantry skeletons. So you'll see them in the background supporting 2 units of Ushabti Great Bow, including the Chosen of the Gods here, which will be pretty nice because you've got the Shield Destroyer, whatever it's called, Shield Breaker, minus 24 to missile parry here, but both AP. So you get these things focused on, say, like a Grail Knight or a Grail Guardian Legion, or unit, it should be very well in knocking them out pretty quickly. And then Arkan the Black, which is a very strong choice. I always choose Arkan the Black. Beta Buna here. Also have Spirit Leech, and then the greatest and best of them all, the Tomb Blade of Arkan. Now we know that this changed here in the patch for the Queen of the Crone. It no longer causes this huge reduction of damage. What it does now, and heals. Now what it does is it summons a unit of skeletons. There's no healing coming out of the Tomb Blade of Arkan, which made him just outright disgusting. So, also a unit of chariots. Now, going at the line for the Bretonians, Down on occasion has gone with a front line of peasant mobs here, undeadly to eat up any initial kind of shots coming out from the Tomb King line, and to really absorb initial charges and kind of dictate the charges you want. Now, he did go with a very light cav build, so he only has 2 units of Questing Knights, which will be very good against the... Well, it'll be good against any of the constructs, but there's not going to be any constructs in this army. But they'll still do quite well against all those Tomb Guard. But the rest of the line, we've got Spearmen and Arms with shields. Again, expecting a heavy presence of constructs. And then a large line of Peasant Pox arrows, actually. Surprisingly enough... Oh, there we go. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 1, 2. So Pox Fire, Pox Fire, Pox Fire. Then we've got the Holy Wardens here, which are so sick. From La Maisontal. It's an abbey in which the actual Staff of Nagash is held. Now, these guys do both flaming attacks and magic attacks. They've got Frenzy. These guys are here to stay. Look at that. Look at the rowdy. They look like soccer hooligans. Is this in correlation? No, it's not in correlation. Turn and I just both do flash tournaments. And then also a Damsel of Life. Can't go wrong there. But the one big thing I want to talk about here, we got King Lo and Leoncoeur, but then we've also got the Royal Hippogriff Knights here. I think that these guys are going to be... They should be pretty interesting to see. I believe that they got a little bit of a tweaking in the last patch here, but They'll have some good AP. It'll be just kind of cool to see them on the battlefield because you never really get to see these guys. So I'm stoked to see how this goes. This plans out. Do it. All right, guys. We're kicking off our second match here. This might be the last match for King of the Dead. He is down 1-0 against Janet on occasion. He did lose that first match, which was Beastmen versus Warriors of Chaos. He was playing Beastmen, which is very good with. But the Tomb Kings are really King of the Dead's bread and butter here. So let's see how this all pans out, guys. Ooh. Initial early engagement, kind of moving things up here. Getting those, these Shabti Great Poles are getting in range here. We're probably going to be targeting out to these Royal Hippogriff Knights, which isn't a terrible target. We can see Janet on occasion. He has got the moves. The moves like Jagger, man. Look at him juking left and right, shucking and jiving across the whole front line there. Pulling up those Tomb Guard to defend both the flanks. Getting a quick little charge in here with King Lowen Leonker, which is a good little initial harry, but he does have to be careful here. If he does get mucked up quickly, this could be the end of King Lowen fast. And remember that these guys have poison on their spears, so they'll slow him down quite a bit. Looks like he's just gonna be able to pull up. Oh, look at the beautiful like fireworks show from the pox and fire arrows. Ooh, trying to use that Tomb Blade of Arkan to slow things down here. Didn't quite hold. Get those Royal Hippogriff Knights into the back line. Like that a lot. You can see the front line has made contact here. Pushing the Spearmen. Tomb Guard. Just preventing this charge here into those Cresting Knights. I apologize for the drop in frames here. The laser light show is really having an effect on my card. So the back line is pretty heavily under siege here by the Royal Hippogriff Knights, by the Questing Knights, and by King Lowen himself. He has triggered both Lion Shield, which is going to help him when he's fighting against the Zushapi Great Bow, and Foe Seeker to try and hunt down and keep those things out of the fight. With all the combined firepower, though, they are starting to run into some issues with the Skeleton Chariot, pushing through that back line. It's just going to go from unit after unit after unit now, with uncontested now, so there's no backline to support it. He does have to get those Questing Knights. There it is. Questing Knights moving into intercept onto those chariots. The front line has buckled here, and you can see the Skeleton Warriors are surging through, making contact with that back line. So both back lines are heavily compromised. Look as he's pulling those Royal Altdorf Griffites, those Royal Griffin Knights out to help out the back line a little bit. The Tomb Guard have dealt with their initial engagement, and there are bros. There's the Holy Wardens here, fighting tooth and nail to the bitter end here. It's not looking too awesome for Janet on occasion. It's looking like King of the Dead is really pulling ahead here because he just has so much more on the field right now. The very first Realm of Souls has triggered off, so a good, nice cross-battlefield heal has gone off. But you can see King Lowen is in poor shape. He is being hit up a little bit. I think our Damsel of Life is either dead or... Oh, she's right here. Probably looking to get a quick heal onto King Lowen here. I have no idea what her level of... Oh, there's that heal. Oh, actually onto the... Flesh to Stone, interestingly enough. Right here, trying to capitulate those Tomb Guard. But you can see that the Air Force of Doom trying to smash apart the Tomb Prince, trying to get anything they can done. He does have to be careful here because that Tomb Prince has got a lot of AP. It's got a lot of anti-large. It can do a lot of damage to everything right here. Backline starting to come back a little bit here, moving away from the engagement, trying to get a new line of sight and get a new arch on things. Start firing stuff down. Oof, just pulling out of here, using some Foe Seeker to help out. Lion Shield to help mitigate some of that damage. Pulling these guys out as well. These guys are actually, I'll be honest here, the Royal Hippogriff Knights have stayed in the fight a lot longer than I thought. They're stayed around half health the majority of this fight. And they've done a really good job of just kind of going in and out, in and out, in and out. So good move on Janet's part there. The Damsel of Life is completely surrounded by Tomb Guard. Oh. Just went to the bathroom alone. Came back, tons of Tomb Guard in her stead. Not good for anyone. Look at that action. Liber Mortis kicking off, giving a fat bonus to physical resistance. Sword of Corone also reducing the melee defense and armor of the Tomb Guard and everything else around Lowen Leonker, but he is in bad shape. The tires have been taken off his car, and he is taken up into the air. Ugh. Leaving these poor Royal Hippogriff Knights to fight alone against this unending tide of undead. You have both these units of questing knights doing whatever they can, but they're in poor shape as well. You can see the balance power is now starting to shift in the favor of the Tomb Kings. They've hit their second and almost their third Realm of Souls. As soon as that third Realm of Souls gets triggered, they do get that Urshabti summon, which is going to be very, very strong for them right now. This is kind of end game initial portion where you've got peasants that are fleeing nonstop. You might just get a mass terror route now at this point. Not going to... These skeleton chariots have really been the breadwinners for King of the Dead. He was able to push them through the front line after shattering the front line, then into the back line of all these archers. And all of these archers with their pox and their fire arrows are able to do a lot of damage to the Tomb Kings if they're able to kind of like get their shots off unanswered. King of the Dead did a really good job of pushing that back line and shutting it down. At the same time, though, Jen on occasion did a really good job of shutting down as best he could the Urshabti great bows. They are still firing there. They are still up and running, but he did whatever he could to try and shut them down as fast as possible. His one big weakness, I would say so far, was that unit of questing knights that was right here. If he had gotten those in the fray early, it would have been hugely advantageous for him because he just would have had another front of pressure on King of the Dead, so he wouldn't be able to move around so easily. But there it goes here. It is now 1-1 in our first matchup here. 1 King of the Dead, 1 Janet on occasion, guys. So our first one, this is getting spicy. Look at this, 166 kills on that skeleton chariot, 132 on the Tomb Guard. The Tomb Guard were just snipping up peasants left and right. Even the Holy Wardens weren't able to do a ton of damage. Really nothing broke 100 in this army. Closest thing was these questing knights at 78. But let's jump on over to our final match here. I think our last one is the Ashenhall. Alright. Getting the blocker up. We'll update the scoreboard as soon as I change the map. Ooh! The Frenchmen! They failed with the King of the Dead. Hey. 1-1 in the first round here, guys. It's been a good one so far. Liking what we're seeing here. Oh, no. Last one's Altdorf Outskirts. That's right. You'd think I made this. Altdorf Outskirts. There we go. So it looks like King of the Dead will be playing the Vampirates, and Janet on occasion will be playing the Beastmen. You're good. Jordan Tidwell, did you say who's the dancing Chad? That's the Chad of Chads, bro. That's the man who invented what it was like to be a Chad. That's the Belgium Heat or whatever he's called. Man, this G Fuel is going to kick in. I'm going to start shitting everywhere. More undead from the king. Fitting. So, guys, these first rounds have been pretty intense here. We got a couple donations going so far. I think a total of around $15. 25% of that will be going towards the winner of the overall... I don't remember that. I didn't remember that scene from the Full Metal Jacket, but maybe I'm wrong. Dude, that's from Kickboxer. Lifts, just pump iron on camera. Jean Chad Von Chad. The muscle from Brussels. Thank you, Crazy C4. You guys don't like the Bavarian Heat or whatever I said, the Belgium Heat? I thought that was pretty good. Yeah, that's gonna fuck me up. So our first seeing of the Vampirates in this little Warpstone Cup, it's going to be Count Noctilus, or well, it's the Dread Fleet, so maybe Count Noctilus. All right, and they're both ready up. It's time to move forward into this fight. Oh, just take a look at both armies. Palpable. All right. This is the final match for this match, or the final game for this match. 1-1, Jen on occasion versus King of the Dead. Our very first and our very third, sticking with it, winners of the Warpstone Cup squaring off here. Whoever wins this one will go into the finals, the best of 5 finals, playing against either Zero or Zyphos, whoever wins. You don't have to have any plans. What does QM stand for? Queen Mother? You know, I don't know. I'm not that much of a CA insider. It's just like when they want to do events with Turn and we get to find out all the goodies ahead of time. But quick match? Oh. Okay, yeah, I know that they've got 10 different lords to pick from, but the multiplayer meta doesn't allow you to really access all 10 lords, right? Like, oh yeah, you can choose Vlad or Manfred or Vampire Lord X, Y, or Z, like, but you're really probably only going to choose the competitive ones. Sure, you can choose Heinrich. Sure, you can choose Gorst and all that, but it's like, get your insta. Huh? Yeah. But it really kind of comes down to what is the competitive lord, and every lord, like, I mean, Empire, sure, you can go with Karl Franz, Gelt, you can go with the generic of the Empire, but like certain ones just make more sense, right? So it just really depends. Oh no, I know you can get all of them. Torrentino, you're missing the point. It was the best book. This is as good as Starship Troopers is the very first showcasing of power armor in sci-fi. So, let's take a look at King of the Dead's army here. He has got so many shambling hordes here. I just finished watching the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which I actually fucking love. So, I'm in a very, very piratey mood. So, zombie pirate deckhand mobs here. They're just a little bit better than your normal zombies, a little bit worse than your normal skeletons. So, they are about actually par on the skeletons. But you've got a nice little secondary line here of my favorite unit in the game. When everyone ever asks me, it's these bros. It's the Death Guard. Imagine waking up face to face with that thing. Right there. So, Death Guard here will be pretty much anchoring the center portion of the line. He's supporting around with more zombie pirate deckhand mobs all the way around, too. So, it looks like he's taking the Tide of Skilled, which is the Regiment of Renown version. They do have Frenzy. And what's this? Oh, Rowdy, which they gives him Perfect Vigor, I believe, right? Yeah, Perfect Vigor and Leadership. But he also has a nice backline of the deckhand mobs with pole arms, a lot of the zombie pirate gunnery mobs, and then flanking the Rotting Prometheans. I thought these might have been the gunneries, but it's not. And then Lamprey's Revenge, interestingly enough, which are the Regiment Renowned Promethean gunnery mobs here. So it's interesting to see, because they also regenerate, which is nice. But also you have, as Nick would say, the hard knock life himself. Look at that. Do you fear death? Just sitting up there all high and mighty. What has he taken? Got the moon dials, giving him an extra summon of the Drowned Dead, basically, and Drowned Dead, and Invocation to Heck on him. So you can really see, this is a very, it's almost like a dwarf army, right? Look at the geometry of this thing. It's very, 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 like, it's a solid mass, that's for sure. So a lot of harpies on the flanks here for Jenna on occasion. And then the front line here. Now, he's going with an interesting move here. He's overlapping the Gore herds and the... oh, man. I haven't seen the Blackhorns Ravagers in a long time. Look at these bad boys. They also have Rowdy. They have Stock. Nifty little dudes. I haven't seen them in ages. I forgot they were in the game. But he's overlapping the Razor Gores on top of them. The Razor Gores, like we've already talked about, they have poor leadership. They have bad melee defense and armor. But in this situation, when you're up against such a chaffy front line, it's going to push through them very well. It's going to stop, of course, the Depth Guard, but it will be able to inflict some damage on the Depth Guard because they do AP. So, you know, all the better. Oh, never mind. That's changed. Now, we have Malagor Dark Omen here as well. 2 Gore Bowls, which are going to be nice here. They'll probably be used to just focus the Hard Knock Life all hot and heavy. They'll be really good at doing it because the nice thing about this army is they're going to be able to push through by mass alone. But that's really it. Not a lot to go through around this army. Oh, God. Pirates of the Caribbean 4 was absolute shit. 5 was great, though. 5 was very good. I'm sorry. 5 was not very good. It was just better than 4 was. And some Chaos War... Some Scurvy Dogs, actually, here. And I think another one here. Another unit of Scurvy Dog. So King of the Dead has some kind of errant Scurvy Dog play maybe happening here. The Harpies, they're in a rough situation because they don't have a very clear target. There's no artillery for them to jump on. There's no hand. There's only 2 units of ranged in this army, including, of course, these bad boys. Count Noctilus already shooting off here, popping off some shots into these Razor Gore herds. I don't know what you guys are talking about when you... If anyone is saying that the Starship Troopers movie isn't the best movie made by human beings, let's just get the band train rolling. I mean, whew. I love that fucking movie. Rico's drop necks! Alright, and the first charge here into the Harpies under the side flank. There it is. Jumping in here right onto these zombie pirate deckhand mobs with pole arms. Oh, Noctilus is just shooting things apart here. We've talked a lot about the Harpies. They still have, for their costs and everything, they still have a pretty good AP of 12. I mean, they're not much... I wouldn't scoff at them. But the Gore Bull is going to make it through that front line here. You can see everything is starting to coalesce in this point. And like I said, they're just ripping through the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. Got Brave Scream ripping through into the Depth Guard, which is not going to do a ton of damage because they are a little bit more heavy armored. Oh man, those Scorbulls are getting focused down hard and fast. Getting a Summon of the Drowned on them, which is really good to kind of keep them mucked up. You can see how the Cat Noctilus is just Optimus priming through everything. Noctilus Prime is going wild here. Autobots! Starscream just coming in the whole entire way. Scurvy Dogs and the Pirate Deckhand mobs looking to support Noctilus here. Oh, Gorebull's just diving headlong, just horned first right into him. They're going to start taking out chunks of his health, though, so it's kind of, it could be pretty scary if they don't get a hold of this. Oh, only one of them's there. Frontline kind of stabilizing a little bit. The fear is having an effect over here. The Depth Guard are ripping through all those Gore herds. They don't give a shit. You can see here that Noctilus is just taking random pot shots at this point. Getting wrapped up by Janet on occasion here. And Janet's doing oh man! Janet's doing a good job, though, of just keeping one Gore herd after another constantly engaged here. And I'm not sure if that's his intention, but he's doing a good job of once one gets punted away, the other one's right there to just sub in for him. And he's getting these Promethean Guard in here. These Rotting Prometheans, which is a good move because Rotting Prometheans they have a lot of mass. They can absorb the charge of the Gore Bulls. You can see across the line here, though, that a lot of the Vampirates are really cleaning up the rest of the Beastmen. This pocket in the front line is definitely going down. You've got those gunnery mobs now taking shots at the Gore Bulls. Calling them Gore Bulls. Yeah, they're Gore Bulls. They're Gore Bulls. I keep wanting to call them Doom Bulls. But Noctilus is at about half health, and they've really gotten a pretty mild engagement with those Gore Bulls. So if they actually get free reign on them, you can see how devastating it can be. Malagor Dark Omen, though, completely surrounded by some undead, but they're not going to be substantial enough to do a ton of damage to him, but over time they will overwhelm. Oof, this is spelling pretty bad news here for Janet on occasion. I think a lot of his front line is too beat up and dead or fleeing now at this point. A lot of the Vampire front line, including the Depth Guard, are very well and good, able to do a significant amount of damage here to the majority of the forces. He's trying to get those Harpies in onto Count Noctilus, slow him down, keep some additional damage going, and I really can't recommend that enough. We talked about how cheap and effective, efficient price-wise those guys are, so I'm all for it. Look at him just shambling away. Ooh, one Gore Bull getting free. Malagor's still in good shape. Uh-oh. 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 There's nothing to really intercept this guy aside from these Scurvy Dogs. King of the Dead trying to bring him a little bit closer. Getting just shot point-blank range. It just, like, puts him down like old Yeller. There it goes. Holy shit. Razor Gore's over there having a little difficulty, but, I mean, things over here are just really starting to just rip stuff apart at this point. Oh, there's I can't remember the name of it. The Count Noctilus is, I think it's called Wraith Shot, where those 4 or 5 just tendrils of destruction come and like land down on things. It does quite a bit of damage, especially to a concentrated unit. So it's a great way for Noctilus to do a lot of damage. But can this Gorbel do it? Oh, intercepted by those Prometheans. And like I said, those Prometheans have a huge mass, so they can take that charge and be just fine. But this other one can kind of juke his way through and weave and shoot the gap. Shoot the gap! Shoot the gap! Man, if he gets good purchase onto this Count Noctilus, he can definitely turn this in the favor of the Beastmen pretty quickly. But I think that it just might be a little too late at this point. Kind of a rallying sect of Beastmen here coming back into the fight. Malagor trying to at least keep them on point. Doombull, I mean, everything is on these Gorbulls here, guys. Noctilus just kind of prodding his way through the army, taking just pot shots at everything. But he and of himself, I mean, he's almost at his healing cap. He's just about there, and this Gorbull it just keeps breaking away, just keeps breaking away, just keeps breaking away. Oh, I thought he was going to take a shot right there, but I guess not. Oh, and I think there it is. Army losses kicking in at the last minute there. If that Gorbel had gotten onto Noctilus, he definitely would have killed him. And we're seeing it. Jan on occasion is knocked out by King of the Dead here, who pulls ahead 2-1 in our first match, getting things ready for Zero and Xiphos. So let's take a look here. Noctilus did a whopping 62 kills, but 187, 100, and almost 180 kills with the Depth Guard. They were just buzzsaws through the majority of this front line. I mean, the Gore Herd did what they were supposed to do and eat up a lot of these Zombie Pirate deckhands, but you can see that just not enough stuff to really threaten and hold the line. If Jan on occasion had maybe, I would say instead of those Bestigors, which really didn't really get a chance to do a ton of damage. If he had 3 or 2 units of Bestigors, he probably would have had a stronger front line that would have been anchored better, and he would have been able to pull this out easily. He would have pulled out all over the place. But there it is, our first match done with, guys. Let's get ready for our second one. We're going to take a brief intermission here, maybe a 2-3 minutes, while I just kind of swap around some creative assets, get the game set up for our next competitors. So hang tight. Give me 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to put up a quick screen while we do that. Again, guys, 25% of your donations do go towards the winner here. So it's looking like it's either going to be King of the Dead or whoever wins our next match. So thanks so much for watching for now. Just give me 2 minutes here. Getting that screen up here. And don't forget to like this stream. At 280, almost 300. 300 would be my record. I don't think I've ever been higher than 300 people. So if you get me to 300, I'll pop a nipple out or something. I'm not hyper as fuck. I like fall into a zone when I do this stuff. It's so like fast paced. It just kind of triggers me to just keep going and going and going and going and going. But all right, guys, 2 minutes here. Let me switch around some creative assets, and we'll be back here in just a bit. Okay, we're already back. All right, so boom, scoreboard up already. Do keep in mind, Jen on occasion was knocked out by King of the Dead before our last match here, so we are back onto our second match with Xiphos and Zero. Zero won our last Warpstone Cup. Xiphos won our second Warpstone Cup. So this is numbers 2 and 4. So it looks like today we will be seeing. Actually, I don't even think I don't need to bring that up if I don't click on these guys. Zero will be playing Warriors of Chaos versus Xiphos as the High Elves. I'm already rooting for the High Elves. It doesn't matter who brings High Elves. You could be the worst player in the world. I'd still root for you. Getting everything, make sure it's all good. Let me just tell them. So we're going back to the steps of Aisha here. Into the Heartlands. You didn't get far in the manga you're reading? Sorry, Dr. Z. I'm trying not to derail the momentum here. Alright, so as soon as we get readies up from them, we will get going here. I'm stoked to see this very first match, and this will be a good, interesting one, because with the inclusion of Sisters of Aberlorn in the Queen of the Chrome patch, the High Elves have a lot of really strong, good answers for large monstrous creatures. Well, they already kind of had that with archers, but now that they have Sisters of Aberlorn, they have access to a wide range of AP, magic, and flaming attacks. So they can do a lot of damage to just the generic front line of a Chaos Infantry. So there's a lot of really cool configurations you can take with the High Elves. But the High Elves do have a lot of really awesome cavalry. The Dragon Princes, we already know. I mean, they don't have AP innate in their characteristic profile, but their martial mastery really allows them to have a huge melee attack and melee defense bonus. Hi. All right. And the Warriors of Chaos, though, have a lot of things that they can do against the High Elves. I mean, you can have a nice front line of Chaos, just simply Chaos Warriors who have silver shields with supporting lines of Forsaken to rush around and get in backlines quickly. The biggest thing with High Elves and with Dark Elves is always about disrupting that backline. If you get that backline disrupted, then you pretty much neutralize a good portion of the fighting power of any of the Elf armies. So making sure you get in that backline is always crucial. And for fighting against Chaos, making sure you have really scary anti-armor AP against them is really what's going to win you the day. Our Imperial State Troopsman, what unit would I be? Flagellant. I guess it's not State Troopsman, but maybe a greatsword. No, I'm sorry. No, it'd be a knight for sure. Oh, dude. AJ, if you are new to the Warhammer multiplayer scene, man, by all means, ask questions. Sometimes I skip things because I think they're kind of implied. Turn and I always try to do the best we can to explain every single time that there's like a special thing in the fight. God, sorry. If you want to learn Warhammer multiplayer, check out Turin's channel. Check out Indie Pride's channel. Indie Pride has done a lot more quick battles lately. Jen on occasion. Dov Plays does a lot of like really critical breakdowns of the way mechanics roll out and how to read a mechanic profile. Gobble King does a lot of really good shit too. I think his channel's still down right now. I'm not sure. But as soon as that comes back up, you can definitely get a lot of good information from there. But those are ones I'd definitely check in. Uh-oh. Gonna go ahead and do this. I don't know if Xiphos' army's built yet. as the creator, I can click these two and see what their armies are now. Whereas you only used to be able to see one. All right, yeah, Zyphos is just choosing still. I thought he's in France, and I wanted to make sure his internet didn't crap out on him. What do you mean, John Boom? Yeah, the rules are that you have to constantly be making an effort to make an engagement. We don't want feints, and like you can feint certain things, but and avoid engagements here and there. But we want to make sure that this is constantly has action going. For a lot of you guys, you don't have the time to wait through a 45-minute singular game when there's 3 or 5 games in a match. So. Gabo he's dealing with a lot of stuff right now. He is going back into the military, into the special forces, and he's even said before, like, he's got a very addictive personality, and so if it's present, he'll want to use it. And this is the same reason why he doesn't have stuff like alcohol in the house and stuff like that. He gets rid of all temptation. So this is his kind of way to move his life forward. So I think we all have to respect that. Usually, so we don't have to see von Santa Claus. Shit. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't go back to neutral. Sorry, Fast Cannon. You can just kind of ignore it. It's kind of hard to lure enemies into ambush. You can actually, John Boom, if you have a kind of a quick eye about it, you can see how people do that. They will use, like, let's say that you've got a unit of cavalry charging into a singular lord. The lord will then move through a unit of spears and bring the spears forward to screen the cavalry charge. That's kind of the closest we get to stuff like that. Yeah, the Blood Bowl League is a little bit less of a time requirement. But yeah, AJ, make sure you join Turn and I's Discord. You'll be able to get a really good idea of. You can ask any of us questions. We're always on there, or you can play with people that are also new to the game, or people that are older and want to give you more experience. You have plenty of options, man. The nice thing about the multiplayer community for Total War is it's extremely welcoming and extremely forgiving. Like, you can if you jump into a quick match with any of these people, King of the Dead, Zero, Zyphos, and you say, hey, I'm new, I saw you on so-and-so's stream, they will say, oh, okay, I'll take your time. Do you have any questions? They're all so accepting to, like, teaching you how to play. Like, Loxlon Soothsayer will say, like, hey, I watch your channel, and he'll give me all the time in the world to make a build that like makes me sweat more than him. Like, everyone's super welcoming. How does AP armor piercing versus AD play into the game? AD, active defense, armor defense. So your weapon strength is a number, right? Let's just say it's 100. Your armor negates that weapon strength. So let's just say it's 30. If you have 100 weapon strength with 0 AP and you've got 30 armor, that means that 70 of the damage goes through. And there's a better calculation for this, but this is just the best way to understand it. But if I've got 100 weapon strength and 50 and 50, that means that, and I don't remember what the actual equation is for how much AP actually goes through. I think it's actually a percentage. So it's like your AP value versus your normal value is the percentage of damage that goes through against armor. So AP will ignore your armor value. So for instance, when looking at Chaos Warriors, I hover over this, and this says they've got a 28 armor piercing. 28 damage will go directly past the armor and hit them. So if they have 100 armor, high resistant units to missile and fire and melee attacks, they'll absorb that damage. Yeah, Tarantino, those guys are always going to exist in every community, but asking questions about how you get better at the game is never frowned upon. A lot of people, everyone in the Total War Reddit community and Total War Discord communities is always going to help you. All right, so let's take a look at Zero's army here. He has a nice, good, juicy front line of Chaos Warriors with great weapons. I don't know how great this is going to be, but if Xiphos went with the High Elf Elite Infantry front line, this is going to be great. The nice thing about these guys is, of course, that they're going to do AP damage, which is going to be really good against that those units of the High Elves that have a very high amount of armor, and majority of the High Elf entire roster does. So it's nice to have this. But if they have a very high ranged army, then this is going to be a lot of punishment. Now, looks like we have the new RK on the Ever-Chosen here. Now you can see here his new AP profile gives him 330 AP damage. He absolutely knocks Tyrion off his horse and just puts a dunce cap on him. In addition to that, he's got Fireball, which coupled with Kindle Flame is a lore attribute that's always passively in effect, does a stacking amount of damage each time it hits. So 22% weakness to damage, fire damage, which will stack every time that goes off. Now, Flaming Sword of Ruin is going to increase his weapon damage significantly as well, so he can use that to really great effect. We've got 2 Dragon Ogre Shaggoths here. Really great choice here because they have really nice AP, they have really good terror and heavy armor, and they also are anti-large. So if there's any dragon play, they can deal with that. Now, a nice backline of throwing axes, Marauder Horsemen, and there we go. And these are the only range units you can really have for Chaos, so great to see them in the army. And that's a really good little solid army there for Zero. Let's take a look at Xiphos' army, starting with, of course, a princess, not the prince, on a dragon. So this is the ranged unit here. I think she also gets... There it is. Volley of high arrows, which some good AP in there. Doesn't get like... Oh, hey, thank you for subscribing, Obusum. Then a nice front line here of Phoenix Guard. Now, the Keepers of the Flame are really sick. These are the new Regiments of Renown from the Queen and the Crone. These guys have this awesome ability called... well, they also have Martial Mastery. Where is it here? Oh, Mark of Assyrian. There it is. Where they actually explode into flames and do damage around them. So they're pretty great. They do have magic attacks, though. And this Martial Mastery, if you take a look, it gives them 8 melee attack and 12 melee defense as long as they're above 50% health, which is great. You'll see that across the entire line of Elves. It's not represented in the profile until the game starts, so you got to be aware of that. And we have a Handmaiden of the Everqueen, which got a recent buff here in her damage and ammunition as well, so she'll be able to fire a lot more and more often. She has a nice little bonus with her... oh, I thought she gave a little bonus to... oh, so you didn't take it. You can give her a bonus to reload and missile damage around her, but it looks like that wasn't taken. She does have an AP missile, which is nice. She'll be good to just kind of snipe things down. We have a high mage as well, my favorite mage of all the mages. Looks like we have Apotheosis, Soul Quench, and the Book of Hoeth for some increased recharge rate. By the way, Apotheosis, I'm sorry, I didn't cover this. Apotheosis gives healing as well as fear. Also, Soul Quench is just a nice little magic missile damage. But also the nice thing here is Shield of Sapphire, which gives 11% damage resistance map-wide. Every time she casts a spell. Some Spearmen. 1 unit of Sisters of Averlorn. Some Swordmasters of Hoeth. And then some Dragon Princes. Gotta love these guys. God, look how fucking rad these units are. Woo! I think that's everything. Yeah. I thought I saw 2 units of Swordmasters, but no. Swordmasters here will be really great. Go for it. I fucked up my build. Looks like Xiphos made a little error, but we'll let them decide. Swordmasters of Hoeth here. These guys are great because they do have a lot of armor at 90 armor. They can deflect shots, giving them a nice little bonus to their range defense, and also they are anti-infantry and AP. Now he's kept them over here in reserve like this to really kind of help him. It conceals most of his army by being behind this hill. Line of sight is true in this game, so if you cannot see the unit, then you cannot do anything against it. Just some initial shots here. This is a ranged unit here with the Princess, so they'll be able to do that. Some range damage, just some initial kind of pick-offs here and there. John Boom asked if having a front line of Phoenix Guard is expensive. It is very expensive, but it can be worthwhile if you are supporting it up with enough Spearmen, depending on how you go. It looks like Xiphos was expecting a lot more monsters, but with 2 of those Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, I don't think that those guys are going to go to waste at all. It's just a very interesting placement here for Zyphos. It's he has a very interesting way of playing that is always like super uncharacteristic of many players, and it always breaks my brain. I'm like, oh, what did he do? What do I think the top tier factions are for competitions? Chaos, Beastmen, Vampires of any ilk, and always, and a Fireball hitting right. Oh, just missed. Good juke there by Zyphos. And Dark Elves. Dark Elves are very, very strong. Looking like we're just getting some initial kind of skirmisher action here. The rules state that they do have to make a move towards each other. I was about to say that. About to just literally say what Zero said. They do have to start moving towards one another because Zyphos isn't making any actual engagement here. He's just kind of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So they are now pushing towards one another. Oh, getting a good little... You can see this High Mage is not in a good place here. I mean... Alternatively enough, though, it's going to be supported quite well by all those Spearmen. These are kind of pushing up little by little here. Getting those Sisters of Avalorn now to just have some good targets on those Dragon Ogre Shaggoths. Those things are going to melt with sustained fire, so they do have to be careful there. And charging them into the Phoenix Guard is going to be a real rough target for them. Trying to do some juking action. Zero's doing whatever he can to just waste ammunition now. You can see it's like, okay, it's probably used about an 1/8 ammunition, doing minimal damage to the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth right now. How many tits will Keeper of Secret have? Anywhere from 8 to 15. Oh, get into that back line here. The Martyr Horsemen, they're trying to get up a nice little wrap around here, opening up the door for the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth coming in. Those Swordmasters of Hoeth are not going to do much against that thing, and those things are just going to get beat like a gorilla by that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. Looking to get any kind of additional damage here. Both of them over here with Archaon as well, trying to shut down this High Mage quickly. And if he does that, they'll neutralize all their healing. The Shield of Safaris, 11% damage resistance, getting a frontline engagement across the way with those Phoenix Guard, trying to pull down the Swordmasters of Hoeth into these guys here. You can just see that like that one part in like Lord of the Rings with the two towers where they're like, oh, I think all the elves charge into the Uruk-hai right there. Going in. Great swords held back. Chomp, 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 chomp. Swiping into these guys. Coming around back over here, we have a lot of focus fire going on to that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. The High Mage is starting to rout off the table here. The Spearmen are in bad shape, and you can take a look at this Princess, who is just not having the best of days there. Front line kind of holding, but that's really not the point here. The big thing is going to be just, oh my god. Oh my god. The Shaggoth just gorilla pounds everything. You got those Dragon Princes coming in here, try to do some damage. Those Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, though, are going to do a ton of damage to those Dragon Princes. That anti-large is going to be so crippling to them. Oh, man! Dude! Holy crap, that Shaggoth just went from, like, damn near full health to no health. Ooh, there it goes. But he does have to be careful because that Archaon is going to do so much damage now. I think what the Princess used was her High Elf shots as she came down into him, doing quite a bit of damage there. HCM, I don't agree with you at all. Ooh, a Fireball almost taking out that Princess. Dragon Prince is starting to rout off. You have these Swordmasters of Hoeth in good shape, but I think that the balance of power is starting to tip in the favor of the Chaos Warriors here. They are... Oh, you can see each one of these little like fire explosions is one of these guys dying. Oh, Shaggoth from behind. Can they get a Fire Breath on? Nice breath down the line of these Chaos Warriors. Does a pretty good little bit of damage. Not a huge amount, but I think the Princesses are going to get mulched up by this Horsemaster here. Jumping in onto that Shaggoth, who's just going to turn around and take the head of the Princess. I'm sure of it. Uh-oh. 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 Oh! And with the Princess falling, I think that that's going to be the final straw here for the High Elves. And it looks like Xiphos is going to fall behind 1-0 against 0 here. War Boss, just kind of over time. Sure, HGM. So taking a look at this, the Swordmasters of Hoeth did, you know, kind of their job, 58, 56. And you can see here, though, that this was such an elite army. They both deployed the exact same amount of units, 513, 513, which is kind of funny. But it's just the amount of damage that those Dragonor Shaggoths could dish out to like the heavy hitting units. That High Mage was put out of commission so fast. The Princess was knocked out pretty heavily. So it was a pretty handed fight over here for 0. All right, back to Karak Asgal. Putting up the blocker here. Actually, I can pick the blocker down. Let's do this. Scoreboard up. So we are 1-0. Xiphos has fallen behind the mighty 0 now. HGM, now to answer your question in depth, High Elves require a lot of skill in the build department. Your micro won't really save you as much as it will for other races. You have to know how to build a High Elf army out. If you don't build it properly, then you're wasting points because, like you just said, High Elves are very expensive. So High Elves require a very strong mastery of their builds and how to use certain things like the double prince plus Teclis and or Alarielle. In fact, if you're not taking Alarielle or Teclis, most of the time I think you're losing. It just depends. Actually, White Lions have a lot of really good, like, what the fuck was that? Niche matchups nowadays. All right. We are good to go now, I see. Giving AP to other units. So if you think about it, everything beyond Spearmen and everything beyond Spearmen has AP in the High Elf army as far as their infantry goes. Swordmasters of Hoeth, White Lions, and Phoenix Guard. What? 137 of you guys haven't liked the stream? Bros. Bros. The archers do not need to be AP. They have Sisters of Avalorn. Hey, E. Weston, thank you very much, man. Like I said, it's just going to come down to like splitting hairs, my brother. It's just like, it really is really heavily dependent upon the build and how you choose your lords and your supporting units for High Elves. Let's see. So now we have Wood Elves versus High Elves here. This should be a pretty interesting one. So the Wood Elves are, you know, notoriously high on the power curve when it comes to competitive matchups here. So you'll kind of see how they play out. Ooh, I already like this build. I already like this build and I haven't even taken a look at it. Funky Monkey wants a little sexy dance. How about... Oh! Is that a sexy dance for you, huh, motherfucker? I think these Wood Elves are not... I'm waiting for them to set up their army so I can, like, go over it. Because it's like, it sucks to talk about something and have it just move really quick. So we'll wait a little bit longer here. As just a reminder, guys, 25% of donations do go towards the winner of this Warpstone Cup here. I think we're at $15 right now, so 25% of that will go towards the winner. You can do better. So Xiphos was saying that he actually built for the other map here, and that's why he kind of have a funky one. Too much practice. I'm left-handed when it comes to that stuff, Whiskey. I broke... Here, check this out, guys. So I broke... This is... Like you can see, I broke this pinky when I was a kid. In my formative masturbatory years. Thus, everything's with my left hand. Yeah, actually, that's a good point, Misha. If you use that link when you donate, yeah, 100% comes to me, but it also makes it easier for me to give prize money. Because if you send, let's just say, if all of you guys send $100, then $30 of that go to YouTube, and then 25% of $70 then goes towards the winners. So it kind of gets fucked up. So do whatever you want. No, HGM, what would make them better is if they had White Lion Chariots, and White Lion Chariots had AP. Alright, so going through the High Elf, my favorite here, Zero went with a nice... I always love Zero's geometry. It has a really good like mastery of the battlefield here. Take a look at how this is all set up. You have his spearmen spread out very nicely in the front here. He's got supporting Shadow Warriors. Shadow Warriors! Ooh! Haven't seen these guys in an age. They have 180 range. They have quite a bit of range. They have stock, and they have Vanguard if they wanted to use it. But they also shoot in a 360-degree angle, which is really sick here. Then he's supporting each flank with some silver helms, which are really good because they have anti-infantry. Not the shielded variants here, but they are going to be able to do quite a bit of damage, even just to basic Wild Riders. So they'll be able to do quite a bit to the what else. And you can see across the line we've got more silver helms than supporting dragon princes with a lastly Textless in the background and archers in the center line. This is a very, very, very interesting build. I really, really like this so far. I'm going to steal it from him after this fight. But Textless is really good here because he's got Net of Amantak here, so he can control a lot of the charges that are going to happen to them, if any. He's got Regrowth, so he can keep a lot of halos going up. And he's got Potion of Charoi, so that he can regenerate if need be. Now, let us take a look over at Xiphos' army here. A nice little Waywatcher flank, or I'm sorry, Vanguard out here. Waywatchers are really strong units here. They have 190 range, the most of any range unit in the game, I believe, as far as the infantry unit goes. And they have a... Are these guys have AP? Yeah, they do have AP. I thought that there were... I keep thinking that these guys are Deepwood Scouts, which you can choose the different shards that do have AP. Yes, these guys do have AP. They can shoot a 360 arc, and they can shoot while moving. So they do have... They're very similar to your Shadow Warriors. As far as Lords go, it looks like we have got the Mistress of Prey of Anathrama. There it is. This will lock things down, give it a -22 to missile resistance, allowing you to really burst things down with all of your Wave Watchers. You've got a Spellsinger of Life with, it looks just like with Regrowth, and... Here, let me actually take this off. Sorry, guys. Don't Deck Gunners have longer range now? Oh, that's a good point. I think that the Deck Gunners have 230. Earthblood and Regrowth. Then we also have Sisters of Thorn, which actually recently got a debuff just in the most recent, a nerf in the most recent patch. Then we've got units of War Dancers, Asterai Spears, more War Dancers, Loix Tricksters, which is the Resident of Renown version of the Asterai Spears here. They have got Loix Shroud, which gives them stock and unstoppable, as well as the Storm of Blades, which is a +26. These are unit abilities that you kind of toggle on and off, which is kind of sick. They're also immune to Psychology, and they have Frenzy. Both these War Dancers as well, and okay, I thought they had Wild Riders. Yeah, just do it. All right, you can see these Waywatchers already got like one full shot off on these Spearmen. Look at this. Oh man, just completely cooked that whole unit of Silver Helms in one volley. Here it is again. Like just that all those like arrow shots that you hear from like Braveheart or Lord of the Rings just going in. Uh-oh. Some of those were eaten up by the hill, fortunate enough, because this unit of Spearmen is having a hard time. Holy crap, man. I have never seen a unit deleted like that so fast in this game. That's not true. I've probably seen it deleted just as fast. Oh god, look at that. Each volley just leaves such a huge amount of just pincushion dead. So Xiphos here are doing some interesting little action. Getting a little bit of kiting going on. You will have to engage here soon, as that is the rules. Oh, God, look at that. Oh, ripping through. Screening in for these Dragon Princes to come out of nowhere. Doing whatever they can. If they can close the gap on those Way Watchers, you've thus shut down, I think, what, 4,000 points? Way Watchers are 1,100 points, I believe it is. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Prey of an Othrama on them. Those Dragon Princes are going to be taking shot after shot right there. Oh, no, look at that. Just one whole volley into them. The heal going off right there, keeping them up and running. Gives them some good vigor. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Charge going in there. Got the Silverhelms getting a charge into the side of their Curse of Anraer. But, boom, look at these Dragon Princes into... Oh, man, the War Dancers were waiting for them. Not good. Not good indeed. But pushing through to that, getting right into that line. Weaving over the cross, these Silverhelms. Both of them shooting the gap here, threading the needle. Trying to get into all these Way Watchers. Trying to get those goodies. Into the cookie jar. Into the cookie jar. There it is. There it is. Left and right flanks jumping onto the Way Watchers here. Now that's going to be huge. Because now that they're on the Way Watchers, they can no longer shoot. You have this whole backline of uncontested High Elf archery running wild. I mean, the exposed backs of these War Dancers is going to be eaten up by any one of these archer units. Where is Teclis? He's over there in good health. All the Way Watchers have been completely caught up now. Uh-oh. Some of them are squeezing away, trying to get some extra shots in. Their ammo's depleted now below 50%, so that doesn't affect their abilities like it does for Vampirates, but it's still something to take note of. Oh, man, like I was saying, these Uh-oh. Oh, no. Bad news. The Shadow Warriors are still pretty competent combatants. You can take a look here. They've got, 38 melee attacking, 34 melee defense. So they're still in it to win it if they get charged here, but you want to prevent those charges from happening so you can keep your archery line firing here. Take a look over here. We're getting some good regrowths going on. The Cavalry game was a really good option, I thought, but I did not expect that level of Way Watcher game. You can just hear those screams. Uh-oh. Looks like all the cavalry is completely shot here. They still have their Spellslinger of Life alive. They still have their Lord alive. Oh, no! Teclis is just going to get focused down here. Prey of Nothrama just finally coming off him. See if he can get out of range here. He's in bad shape. Okay, good. He just missed a good volley that would have really clipped him up. Zero, I think, wasn't expecting this level of Way Watchers, and I think it's kind of tripped him up here because he's doing a lot of reckless charges that he doesn't usually do. I have probably never seen Zero charge Cav into spears, but oh no! Oh shit! Oh, that masked up portion of cavalry just took like a fat volley. There it is again. Oh, dude, that is just disgusting. You can see that everything's in range, too. And the Way Watchers are coming out of the bottom of their ammo pool here. Oh, man. Look at that. Just deleting those Shadow Warriors. Well, not as heavily. A nice net of Amantak here, slowing down the Loix Tricksters, who are going to get significantly focused by all this ranged attack, I believe. But there's not a lot of actual threat on the battlefield for all these infantry units now. This is the Thorn diving into some archers. This is the nice thing about the Shadow Warriors. They can fire whilst moving, which is really cool here. Oh, man. Kiro, I'm glad. That's the way it should be. That's the way it was in tabletop. Like the Way Watchers could switch between like the way it was is like they're so good. Uh-oh, this is not going to be fun. Watch this. Watch this. Here it is. Oh no! I wanted to watch it happen. That would have been just this massive, just like and we will darken the sky with arrows. Sorry if you guys can hear the lawnmower outside, but dude, look at that. The Silver Helms couldn't do anything. Between all 4 of them, only 14 kills. And 50 total kills on the Dragon Princes. A lot of the army was just locked down just from all of that archery. 50, 75, 55, 46. Holy shit, man. Like, whew. That was pretty wild. So it looks like we're tied here again now. 1-1. Coming into the 3rd round here. We're up to Altdorf outskirts. Whew. Gonna have to take a water break after this one. Fly on the bread. They stayed alive because Xiphos had war dancers waiting to absorb the charge so they could then move out to the flank. AJ, shields in the Silverhelm would have cost them a little bit more. They probably wouldn't have been able to take another. They probably would have been down a unit of Silverhelms, is what I assume would have happened. Why is Corellian best class in Vermintide? Oh man, Waywatcher. I love Corellian. So looks like we're going to be having Greenskins versus, again, the Dreadfleet by Xiphos here. So the Vampires coming out yet again. This time we're going to see some Greenskin play against them. I'm stoked to see this. I get that they're cheaper, but I feel... Greenskins, please win, represent. I think Greenskins are Zero's favorite. I can't remember. It's either that or Chaos. Actually, I think it's Chaos. Hence the icon of a Chaos Space Marine. But this will be our last game of this match. Then we'll go into our finals of whoever wins this versus King of the Dead. And then 25% of the donations today do go towards whoever, either King of the Dead or Xiphos or Zero, whoever wins here. That's Vampire Coast, not Dreadfleet. You win. That's true. It's a similar icon, okay? The green tide versus the regular tide. All right, I'm going to take a look at their armies real quick. See if they're all ready to go. It looks like they are. Oh, man. Greenskins are very flexible. Greenskins and Empire are both very flexible races. I think Empire needs a buff to a lot of their significant constituent parts to make them a little bit more of a toolkit that they were in Warhammer 1, but they're still nonetheless. The only flexible thing about Greenskins is the goblins when they're mounted on a grudge thrower. I fucking hate Greenskins. It's the only race in Warhammer I don't like. I'm sorry, guys. I like goblins. I think goblins are funny. Like, especially night goblins. They're probably the thing I like the most about Greenskins. Which lord is generally the best? It depends, actually. Greenskins are... I mean, you can take Wurzog to really good use. But, I mean, you could take... Any one of the generic ones are actually really, really good with Greenskins. It is total heresy, guys. I just don't like Greenskins. I don't like their... for me, I play by like color and shape association. That's how I can like jump to things quicker. So the entire Greenskin army either looks like a goblin or like an orc, and they don't have a bunch of color variations. So I get confused playing them or playing against them. I don't think so anymore, Warboss. I can't remember. I honestly don't know a ton about the Greenskin competitive play to give you an honest answer. It's something if you ever see, like, when you watch The Everchosen, you'll notice that I'm like, all right, Greenskin, so Turn, I'm going to default to you on this because I don't know enough about their play to to go into like the, hey, this is what you should be choosing on this army. I know stuff like, you know, orc big guns are really good when you're fighting against stuff like, say, Tomb Kings, when you might be feeling against a lot of constructs and stuff like that because they have anti-large. Like, I know the kind of typical stuff. Am I a fan of 40k aspect warriors then? Oh, I love 40k aspect warriors. I think that's some of the cool stuff. But I think Eldar as a whole are awesome. But consider that I love high elves. They're my favorite race. Haven't you guys seen Wookiee? Turin loves anything that's haggard and broken. Turin is going to be Palpatine when he's older. Like, not by choice. Dude, I don't know, Misha. Anna's just sitting there on the top of the mountain, just throwing Polish thunderbolts at. Hey, Vitaly, thanks for subscribing, man. All right, we are ready up. Let's get this going. One thing I've always wondered is why people don't usually bring Soul Blight when they bring a Deathcaster. Because Soul Leech and Fate of Buna are like vastly better spells. Soul Blight is the you're thinking of Aspect of the Dreadlord, AJ. And the scoreboard is gone. I wanted the scoreboard to fade. I want it to fade. But it's not doing it. So again, guys, we're 1-1 here. We have Zero playing the Greenskins, and we have Xiphos on the Vampirates here. Again, another map where the Vampirates are being showcased. So we'll see how this turns out. The Vampirates have a lot of answers for the Greenskins, and they have a lot of fear and terror to bring to the table. The Greenskins, though, have a lot better of a front line, have an ability to really push through and pressure depth guard to the point that they're not as such a scary thing on the battlefield. In addition to that, they have a lot of skirmisher calves, so Greenskins can really threaten the back line of a Vampirates or the artillery line of the Vampirates. So, Xiphos is going to have to play this one pretty close to the chest if he wants to play, if he wants to come out on top here, because there's probably going to be a lot of cav play, a lot of skirmisher play from Zero, who has a very, very impressive level of micro when it comes to that kind of stuff. So let's see what we get here. Vitaly, Turn and I live like 20-30 minutes away from each other. We went to college together. Turn and I have been friends for... It's like every time... Okay, when you guys see Lord of the Rings, when you see Two Towers, when... we'll wait for these armies to set up before we talk about them. When Shadowfax comes into the scene, and Gandalf... Ian McKellen is just like petting Shadowfax. He's like, he's been my friend for many ages. Every time I see Turin, that's what happens. I just pet his head. I'm like, he's been my friend for many ages. For many journeys, Yeah, order Drake. We're gonna play a tabletop. War Boss Gorguts. So you know that mass shooting that happened last week? That was my town. Like, I've been to that bar plenty of times. And then the fires, I was evacuated from this house because the fires were right there. So it's been a very stressful fucking week. Yeah, Gingerbeard. Guys, don't listen to Turin. Turin's like, oh, ItalianSpartacus doesn't want to play with me. Turin doesn't have a job. He just does like YouTube full time. I have a job, and I compete in Olympic weightlifting, and I do YouTube full time as well. So he's got a girlfriend or a wife who like helps him paint. How fucking cool is that? I don't have that. I have to like just whip out my Songs of Sanguinius book and go, okay, is this how I paint it? Oh, fuck, I can't paint it in time. Oh, I gotta go play someone and do this. I gotta do this and that. And he's just like all fat and happy off the land with his dog that shits everywhere and Anna who helps him paint. He's such a cheater, dude. Okay, so let's take a look here. So a lot of Savage Orc big guns, it looks like. Staggered in with some Orc boys, and Orc boys, it looks like. Now, Savage Orc big guns here are going to be beat houses against the normal Vampirates kind of chaff line. Oh, no, I know, Gingerbeard. I'm just fucking around, man. So these guys are just going to be they're going to be a lot more stalwart than your normal Savage Orcs. They're going to be able to really eat up that front line here. We can see the Goblin firing line, the dreaded Goblin firing line. For those of you who are new to the game, that includes 3 units of Night Goblin archers, including these guys right here, the Rusty Errors. And these guys have this awesome center armor, minus 30 to armor anytime they hit something. So you take all 3 of them, you focus fire, and you nail it. Again, if you're new to the game, you can see that he's staggered his archers. This allows him that if something compromises his backline or gets into one archer, it won't cascade into the other 3. Now he's gone with a Lord here, just a generic little Night Goblin war boss. Nothing crazy, nothing special there. A good little unit nonetheless here. They are pretty good little duelists. Thought he had a Shaman. Nope, no Shaman. I'm crazy. There's a Shaman. I can't even see the fucking Shaman. So Night Goblin Shaman here has access to... what's it called? Little Wah, that's the name of it. So he's got a Sneaky Stabbing, which gives a nice increase to AP and melee attack. Vindictive Glare, which is a good little burst damage. And then lastly, Itchy Nuisance, which is a huge reduction in weapon damage and melee attack. Now, he's got a nice amount of Skirmisher Cab with the Deaf Creepers here. These are the Regiments of Renown version of the Forest Goblin Archers. They have Regenerate as well. They have plenty of great little abilities with their poison. Just overall assholes, and they have got stock. But I think... we saw, yeah, the Mogrub's Mangy Marauders here as well, along with some other Goblin Wolf fighters. So the Skirmisher Cab is in high effect here. One more sec. Now for Xiphos. Oh, Xiphos brought the Regiment down. Okay, so we can see here a lot of zombie pirate deckhand mobs here. So these guys are just going to be their front line, kind of eating some stuff up. But then he's got some pirate gunning mobs with handguns. These are just like your Empire handgun guys. They're going to be AP. They're going to do a considerable amount of damage. Now keep in mind, all units that are comprised of the Vampire Coast Army do have extra powder. So as long as they're above 50% ammunition, they do all those effects. 30% AP, missile damage, AP explosions, and explosion damage. So as long as you'll see it visualized, I'll show you guys when it starts. They'll do more and more damage or less and less damage as their ammunition goes down. So you can see then also some handguns, or some pistols, I mean. We have some zombie pirate deckhands with pole arms, another unit of pole arms over there, some Death Guard here in the center to kind of form the center line, 2 units of Fellbats, 2 units of these awesome, I love these guys, the Mourngulls here. These guys are very strong in combat and just do a crap ton of damage. They're AP, they're anti-infantry, they're meant to just slap things around and assassinate. Then we have got Noctilus on his Necroth Colossus and the Regiment of Renown version, Necrofex Colossus, the Gallows Giant, who, check this out. Yeah, there it goes. Has Abandoned Ship, which summons a pirate of zombie deckhands if it drops below 50% health, which is really sick. Also, it does burnt. Oh, I thought that was a different thing on there. But it does AP and anti-infantry. It should hopefully pose well against Greenskins, but I could also see it being an issue. So you have to be really careful with this Gallows Giant, because it can get caught out, it can get in engagements that are not favorable, and also it's all of the flame-throwing abilities in the game are a little buggy, a little wonky, so you have to be very careful on how you use them. Make sure you have good line of sight, make sure you have a really good pathway on the stuff. Go ahead and, yeah, Whiskey Duck, just go ahead and check this out. Here's this cool thing on the Colossus right there. Right there. Alright, so the engagement's going off. You've got Count Noctilus already shooting across the way. One thing you haven't seen here is any carronades or mortars being chosen from the Vampires, which is pretty interesting, I think. Again, guys, I apologize if the lawnmower is really getting picked up on my microphone. The people in my neighborhood, like, mow their lawn once a day. I find that freaky. All right, some initial engagement play kind of picking off onto this, onto the Gallus Giant. And you can see this little icon, this little flashing on the skull. That means that they're above 50% and they're still benefiting from extra powder. And he's chosen the Savage Orc Big Guns for his Necrofex Colossus for Noctilus to shoot into. A good target here. Because you guys are going to see what those things are going to do when they make contact. Oh, I guess we missed this unit of Black Orcs. Not a lot's going to be able to threaten them, it looks like, as far as infantry goes. The Death Guard are not AP because those are not the polearm variants. No one has taken the polearm variants today, actually. Which is interesting because the polearm variants have more melee defense. And then the Regiment Noun have even more melee defense. Alright, there it is. Goblin firing line. You can see it's already shooting into Count Noctilus. Gallus Giant trying to get some good purchase onto those Savage Orc Big Guns. Slowly but surely, though, those guys are going to chip away at Noctilus. So he does have to be careful about the Goblin firing line. A pretty risky engagement here. Things are all very, very, very clumped up. And there it is. Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mob summoning into the Goblin firing line. A very good summon there. Keeps that locked up, locked down. Gallus Giant ripping through. Oh, Wah has kicked off across the battlefield. You've got, look at those burly linebackers just pushing their way through all these undead. Uh-oh, Orc Boys coming in here. Get a good charge in. Jumping right onto this gunnery mob. That. Oh, and Savage Orc Big Guns. Oh, dude, just look at that Gorilla Pound. Oh, Goblin Warboss getting focused down by all this combined range fire. A good call here. Death Guard getting up close and personal with these Savage Orc Big Guns, which is a good call. The Death Guard do have access to Hunger, which means that they're going to replenish their health as they get in this close combat there. The Morgul's coming in there to slap things around. Those Savage Orc Big Guns are not going to stand up against all that combined melee attack. Now, the big thing... where'd that guy go? Where'd our little bro go? Oh, there it is. Look at that Shaman ripping things over. Oh, right into the neck of Colossus' face. Whew. The Goblin firing line has been put out of order, which is a very good target here. Those guys can really do a lot of compounding damage to the entire line of the Vampirates. So that was a really good move there. But you can see the back line here is mucked up in some zombie deckhand mobs with polearms, which is a good engagement for them. They might lose this overall, but it's going to pose a little bit better for them had these just been the normal ones. Those anti-large from those polearms is so huge. You can see that these Goblin Wolfires are taking just some pot shots here and there. The Death Guard, I think, are in good shape. Yeah, they're in great shape, man. Look at that. Invocation and a heck on them as well. So you've got quite a bit invested in this engagement. If these Morghuls can divert onto these Black Orcs, they'll slap those guys around hot and heavy like. But these Savage Orc Big Guns are starting to just kind of ravage through things, pushing down the line. Uh-oh. We got a big chunk of Savage Orcs coming here for this range unit. Trying to get intercepted here by these zombie pirates with polearms. A good little move there by Xiphos. But Zero's just trying to get a good wraparound on things. Trying to take things down systematically. Oh, man. Look at that flamethrower. That knocked out a good chunk of health, guys. Holy crap. Damn. There goes the Savage Orc Big Guns. Another summon. This is the overcasted version of Drowned Dead. If you overcast it, you can summon up pirate gunnery mobs rather than just the normal dudes with weapons. Man, look at that. Just the 3 shots of the Necrofex. Another summon up here too. Dude. So Xiphos, what he's doing here is using the moon dial of Jago. Right there. Or Captain Roth's moon dial. It allows him to summon up zombie pirate mobs. So you saw him summon the gunnery mob, then he summoned this one over here as well to put immediate pressure onto that goblin firing line. A great move there. Couldn't agree more. Things are starting to shift heavily in the favor of the Vampirates, though. It looks like Zero is going to fall behind Xiphos in our 1-1 match here. Man. This guy's not going to have fun with those Morghuls. Yeah, the Death Guard's still at full health here, too. Noctilus is still kind of being picked apart by some of those mangy Marauders. They're not going to do a significant amount of damage. Another Wah has kicked off here. but there's just too much big threats in the battlefield for the orcs to do much of anything at this point. Oops. Wrong symbols indeed. There we go. As you can see, it is 1-1, so it looks like Zyphos will be pulling ahead. Zero will be knocked out of this match, probably. Oh! Morgul getting in there, too. Remember, Morguls are really strong. If you have a Morgul Haunter, that thing just slaps around Lords. Death Guard getting in there, too. You're in the wrong mall, brother. This is our turf. A little charge over in here by the Wolf Riders, trying to save their errant lord. But look at this guy. He's just... Oh, it's all you can eat pancakes at IHOP right now. And there it is. What is my max deadlift? 240 kilos. All right, guys. So it looks like Zero is going to be knocked out here. Zyphos pulling ahead to fight against King of the Dead in a bit of a grudge match. I think they had this match up here in the third ever chosen. I can't recall off the top of my head. But man, 124 kills from Count Noctis, 126 kills from the Gallows Giant, tons of damage from them. But even like I said, the Savage Orc Big Guns really got the job done. They did quite a bit of damage, but they just couldn't pull out in the very end there. There's so much damage from other sources, like all the summoned up, which are not on here, gunnery units, 108 kills in the Depth Guard. Those Haunters, or Morguls, 27, 47. That was pretty rough and tumble. But as a whole, great play from both these guys. Let's get a small intermission here, guys. Metric mate, what's that in pounds Italian? Take 240 and times it by 2.2. So over 480. But a great play by both these guys. Let's hats off to them here. We'll be coming back in a short while. I have to quickly kind of edit some stuff here. And we will have our final of Zyphos versus King of the Dead. In which case, we will see things popping off in just a little bit here. Remember, 25% of these go towards the winner. So be on the lookout for that. We see they're already getting in here, getting ready. So I'm going to change some creative assets around. We're going to take a quick 2-3 minute intermission while I swap out some water, and I will be right back. Okay, we're back. All right, actually set the right map up here. That's important. Ekrund. No, they're choosing right now. They're going to be doing like a pick and ban type scenario. So, pretty much with all of these matches, we only really bring people. We we put people into these that are. It's not that they're friends, but we know them to be very good, very mature players. So we know that what they'll always make the right choice, rather than like, you know, you get like those toxic people that kind of come in, they just want to game the system, and that exists. And that's always going to exist, but we always make sure that we get these players that think it's high level play, and like all the high level Total War players seem to be just like very nice people. So they are always about kind of doing things the honorable way. There you go, glass cannon. Oopsies, I didn't mean to ban him. That was unintentional. Let's. How do I unban someone? I don't fucking remember to do this. They're just kind of getting things set up here. I'm trying to unban someone. They make this like the fucking hardest thing to do. I meant to just time them out. Well, I can't find him on this list anymore. Oh, this is awkward. All right, so our first map will be Ekrund. All the clans or all the match seeds are below, so you guys can go ahead and do that. Yep, I'm there, Sotek. How are you doing, man? I'm using Oh, okay, thanks, Misha. I'm using Streamlabs chatbot so I can run polls and stuff. Which reminds me, which poll? Let's get a little poll going here. Who shall win the Grand Cup? Zyphos or King of Dead? There you go. You hurt your hand last night. How'd you hurt your hand, dude? To vote, type in !vote space 0 for Zyphos, 1 for King of the Dead. All right, we're almost ready here. Looks like King of the Dead is ready. We're waiting for Zyphos, and we'll be on the go. This will be interesting here. So King of the Dead, we know that he loves Beastmen. He's very good with them. Zyphos will be playing Norsca, which will be our first showing of Norsca here today. I'm kind of stoked on that. There we go. I was like, why is all the music going? Apparently that's a thing, repetitive strain. Maybe my fingers are just used to like double clicking the mouse, as they say, but I haven't gotten that. Maybe I've got it and just didn't care. Worked through it. It was like, why is this hurting so much still? There goes. Where the fuck's my live dashboard? There we go. Huge shout out to all of the moderators that are watching chat while I cannot watch chat. All right, and we're good to go. Our first match, Xiphos versus King of the Dead in our Grand Cup, Final Cup, Grand Final of the Warpstone Cup. The Battle of Winter Pyre. Isn't this supposed to be Ekrund? Oh, yeah, it is. Never mind. All right. This video is just beautiful. Lovely little bit of water here in the center. This looks so nice. Best of 5, purely. This is a best of 5. Yes, this is one of my more favorite maps. Some enterprising people would call this map Gobbo King's End. But I wouldn't. Why would I have given it that name? Because I'm hilarious. Is this a Dark Elf map? I don't think so. Ekrund is not in Nagaroth. Hey, I'll take it. I don't care. Yeah, but this one comes resplendent with dildos, bro. Is it big in Total War Warhammer 2? It's big for a Total War game, I'd say. Jest. So guys, do bear with us here. Xiphos' internet is based out of France. So it does tend to take a little bit of time when it comes to loading in here. So. All right, so the very beginning of our finals here, best of 5. Again, we have, I almost said 0. King of the Dead on one of his favorite, the Beastmen, versus Xiphos on the Norskins here, in a very fitting map for them. We'll see how this goes out here. This will be this is very thematic. In the lore, Beastmen and Norskins, they would square off from time to time. You have a very rampant area in Norsca where it is filled to the brim with all sorts of chaosy creatures. You know, all these enterprising Norse marauders hope to eventually aspire to become Chaos Warriors one day. In each one of these little enterprising Beastmen aspire to become a Bray Shaman or a Beast Lord at one day. Well, let's take a look here. So King of the Dead has a nice front line of gore herds here, which is pretty good because these guys will do very well against a lot of the normal kind of front line of the Norskins. He's got the Blackhorns Ravagers again. We've seen these guys already today, but they're back here to stay. A nice little backline of, oh, nice, Korok's Manrippers, which are the Regiment Renowned version of the Bestigors. Some of the best unit, I think, in the Beastmen roster, too. Anti-large AP, the charge defense against large foes here. They're very, very, very strong because they'll have pole arms. Now, for the rest of the army, we've got two, or no, just one Gorbel. One. Aha! Look who it is. Morghur the Shadowgrave, Sackmaster himself, in addition to a Bray Shaman with Beast. So let's take a look what Morghur's taken. It looks like he just has his usual accoutrement with his Chaos Spawn action. Then we have, definitely have Flock of Doom, Transformation of Kadon, which turns him into, or summons a Manticore, and then Jagged Dagger, which gives him some, basically, it's like an Arcane Conduit. But the Lore of Beasts will also enable them, everyone on the map, to run a little bit faster. He has a real quick Vanguard engagement here of 3 units of Centaurs backed up with some Ungor Raiders. So that's some pretty spicy action up front, followed by some Marauder Champion, or I'm sorry, let's go now into Xiphos with his Norskins. Now we've got some Marauders on the flanks here with Marauder Champions, which are very, 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 I'll allow it, Glass Cannon. You are forgiven. Marauder Champion. I thought you were just like literally calling me autistic. I was like, dude, that's not cool. Anyway, back on track. Marauder Champions here. Some of the better units for Norsca as far as just having a nice staples solid front line. They are pretty expensive at 1100 points, so you have to be a little bit careful with them. On top of that, though, you have the flanks of these Marauders. You have the big master himself, Throg, Doom Daddy Troll Master himself. Look at that. Look at that singular tooth with a crown on it. Isn't that disgustingly awesome? Ugh, he's so cool. And you can see here he does have his awesome Fight or Die, increases that melee attack, that leadership. In addition here, we've got a Balefiend with Fire. Yes, Balefiend with Fire. And he's got he's got Fireball, he's got Cascading Fire Cloak, as well as the Burning Head. Now, in addition to this, yes, you can absolutely call people manlets. I think it's a hilarious word. Marauder Berserkers here, all throughout this front line. I guess the secondary line, I guess you want to call it that, with some more Marauders with great weapons, more Marauder Berserkers, which is a pretty good choice. Those Marauder Berserkers are going to eat up a lot of those Gore Herds. Now, you've got 3 total units? 3 total units of Skin Wolves. None of the armored variants? Yeah, all the normal variant here. The armored are a little bit more of a heavy cav. These guys are more of a, not heavy cav, more of a fast cav unit. Oh, they do have regeneration, though. They do have anti-large, so they can pick apart any of the large beasts in the Beastmen army. But then you have the Beasts of Tashnar, and oh, it's 4 total units of Skin Wolves. This should be a very spicy fight here. No, he has a mouth on his stomach, Jesse. He's a Chaos Troll. Alright, so let's see how this initial front engagement goes off. I mean, just an immediate play of Ungor Raiders, and that's some spicy action like I was saying. I mean, you don't usually see this level of Vanguard play, but it's always really awesome to see it because it's a very high risk, high reward, and it's looking to be more of a risk than reward here, but he is pulling Throg out into these Centaurs. If these Centaurs had throwing axes, it'd be very, very strong, but I think they're in more of a bad situation more than anything. So Centaur's looking to flee back here. Maybe do some little harrying moves into the Skin Wolves who have come up from the rear to put down these Centaurs. Oh man, look at Throg just smacking around some Ungor Raiders. Skin Wolves getting into those as well. This is going to cost not a lot of points. I think between all 3 of these is a total of 900 points, so it's not a huge loss, but maybe King of the Dead has some crazy play in mind that I'm not aware of, but it seems very interesting to pull, especially through here. Because remember, things going through here are going to get slowed down. They're going to suffer the penalties of Aquatic if they don't have Aquatic. Alright, things coming around here. You can see the Marauders are kind of lining up on the sides. He didn't push anything heavy through the center initially. He waited for the Skin Wolves and the Tashnar to kind of support it, which is a really good initial move. The Hounds of Tashnar jumping immediately into this Gore Herd. Hounds of Tashnar here, guys, so you can go. I'm going to show you that little profile. They have anti-large, which is really... Oh. Yeah, they do. Block of Doom kicking off in the back there. You hear these guys just chanting all wildly. Oh yeah, the first charge. Martyr Champions into Blackhorn's Ravagers, jumping all headlong into that action. All for it. Throg jumping over here on the flank here with the Skin Wolves, with the Centaurs going crazy. More action coming down the way. You've got these the Drakvald Forest Masters, the Joyers of Drakvald Forest coming in here with their poison attacks. Onto Throg will be a good little initial charge because they just want to be able to slow him down a little bit. But Throg just wades through that. He cares not. Oh, Flaming Sword, or Flaming Head, boiling its way through this entire line. All have light armor. All are going to get singed up. Look at that. Being that I live in Southern California, right by these fires, that's a little too close to home for me. You can see these guys are clearly evacuating 90,000 plus acres, decimated for the Beastmen. Man, that was a huge Flaming Head. That did a number to King of the Dead's front line. Like, that was so huge. I mean, Korok's Man Rippers completely decimated there. Everyone's fleeing off the table there. Now, if you can get these Doom Bowls onto... the Famir Balefiend is not a bad target, but if you can get it onto Throg here... Whoo! That'll be a good little play there. Malekith does not wear Nagash's crown. Oh, man. You can see the Ungor Raiders have kind of come back here. They're starting to get some shots ready into the rest of the Norscan army. Oh, transformation of Kadon bringing up a Manticore, which might be a little too late. It does veer off a little bit off course, Nameng. How much do I weigh? 220 pounds, 215 pounds? Depends how much rice I've eaten in the morning. But the Manticore's got a really great target in the Famir Balefiend, a real juicy one, trying to knock it down. You can see here a nice big fight is broken out here, trying to knock out Throg, but Throg is just giving it to the Gore Bull, smacking him up, knocking him up. He's pregnant with a lot of the destruction of the Chaos Trolls. You got the Skin Wolves moving into the backline here, kind of mulching up all the things that are fleeing, but also getting caught up at the same time by all that stuff that is fleeing. Ungor Raiders are starting to just have some free range, shooting into these Marauders with great weapons, which is not a bad choice for them. You've still got these... God, look at this fucking map. It's insane. Flock of Doom kicking in here, which is going to be good for these just like low armor targets, but at the same time, a lot of damage needs to be done to Throg. If they can get Throg done with, it can really tip the scales here. It's a pretty crazy fight here. You can kind of see where everyone is on the map. Yeah, let me do this one. This was kind of a little bit easier to see, I think. This is a huge pocket of fighting over here for the Norsca, with some Chaos Spawn summoned into it. A huge pocket of fighting over here for Beastmen against Norsca, and then just some stragglers in the back here trying to come back and forth from the melee. All right. More Chaos Spawn coming up here, trying to get in on this. I think that just Throg has got such a better upper hand in this fight here. The Skin Wolves are going to be regenerating through a lot of this damage. There's not a lot of scary damage to deal with anyway over here. The Famir Balefiend coming back, maybe trying to do another big roasty spell. Oh, man, just missed that that Bray Shaman, who just comes in. Oh, just club attack with the with the tail. Throg coming in here, too, to just deliver the Pound Town. Oh, there it is. What's up, Christian Bender? How you doing, man? Oof. I think that's all she wrote here. I think that the Norskins are going to pull ahead here, especially after Transformation Kadon wears off. That'll kind of shift the balance of power. There's just too much on the battlefield for the Norskins. I'm sorry, too many Norskins on the battlefield for the Beastmen to really handle. It's over here. I mean, there's some Ungor Raiders, which aren't going to do a significant amount of damage at this point. There's plenty of Skin Wolves left. Throg is in great shape. He's clearly been working out. He's been maxing and relaxing. There it is. I think army losses are kicking in, and Norsca falls behind. Or Norsca pulls ahead above Beastmen. Take a look at that scoreboard here. So, King of the Dead will fall behind now. It is 1-0 Xiphos. Let's go ahead and edit that. You can take a look, man. Like, those Marauder Berserkers did exactly what they were supposed to do, right? Just completely mulch up. But those, I'm surprised how well the Skin Wolves performed. I thought the Skin Wolves are bad, but I mean, I really like the armored variant more, and that's just a personal preference. I just like the way they look so much better. Beastmen are not so hard to make work, but they've been in a lot of interesting matchups. I haven't seen an army like this, and Xiphos, like I said, takes a lot of really crazy not necessarily off meta builds, but King of the Dead. Well, that ambush didn't go so well. So Xiphos likes to take a lot of just very interesting builds, and I've always kind of appreciated his approach just for that. Oh, the map seeds didn't go into the disc or the thing here. All right, well, sorry about that, guys. Let me get the map seeds here for you. All right, map seeds should now be in the description. Hopefully that's saved. Next one is the Tower of Hoeth. Actually, I definitely played the wrong map. Oops. Oh, that's right. Doesn't Ekrund glitch? Isn't that the big thing right now? There is a flicker of light in the room behind me. Bro, you can't say that kind of shit. Oh, flicker of light in the lamp thing in the ceiling. There's a that's a detector, fire detector, which you know is very important to have in California nowadays. So High Elves versus Vampirates this time. Xiphos on the High Elves. Let's see if he has some sort of crazy play in mind here. They're on the Tower of Hoeth, which is somewhat fitting, I think. I could say, you know, I like the way that this kind of pans out too. It's very somewhat thematic, you know, Vampirates and how they're kind of they play heavily into Animar and Amenamenar, the Merworm, which the High Elves kind of venerate even on their shields. All the Lothern Seaguard have him on their shields, like this big dragon like that. Another thematic matchup. Bros, you can't scare me with ghosts. I'm fucking terrified of ghosts. I'm like looking behind me now. Also, the sun sets over there, so you probably get a little bit of a later flash. Dude, if I had ghosts, my cats would help the ghost. Hey, Glass Cannon, guess what? Ever since you guys said, what was that thing behind you? I haven't stopped looking over there. So you can go fuck yourself. So they're just picking their armies right now, because right now, after every single match, they're telling each other, hey, this is what I'm going to choose. I'm going to ban this. So this is why this is a little bit slower of a process, but we'll be... You gotta believe it. Let's see. Cat's usually there. Do the Merworm in a naval battle as like a summon, that'd be pretty sick. Order Drake, you're in for a loss there because I never go to sleep, really. I sleep like 3 hours a night. You'd throw money at the screen, Gingerbeard? Well, you're in luck, because 25% of what you throw at the screen goes to either Xiphos or King of the Dead, whoever wins this one. Misha, I'd enjoy a ghost as long as they were cool about it, you know? Like, they asked me before they haunted me, like, hey, you cool if I just, like, haunt you real quick? Is that alright with you? Alright, cool. HGM, I've read, my dyslexia read, they're expensive and bald. And I was like, what the fuck? It's also extremely windy here still, so the entire house is just like... Boo! Hey bro, can I have a beer from the fridge? My fucking ghost is such a bro. Oh. Alright, let's see how this goes. Do High Elves lose again? They've lost 2 of their showings there today. Let's see if they go for 3 here. Something moving on my headset? Yeah, it's the grease of my Italian head, dude. And on a fitting map here too, the Tower of Hoeth must be defended. The High Elves must rally from the vampirates looking to come ashore from the Inner Kingdom, actually, and sack the mighty Tower of Hoeth, claiming all of its magical magic for Luther Harkin or whatever lord that they take in their stead. And the wardens of the Tower of Hoeth must come to its aid. Guys, so I've got this headset. This is a Bear Dynamics DT770 Pro. I really wish I had gotten the headset that they gave away during the Everchosen. Hey, Christian, thank you very much, man. Ghost protection for you, Ryan. Yes, Dionysus. The magical magic. The shoebox grave. No, I'm really good about selling any components that I don't use because I'm not going to use it. I'd rather someone else use it. And I know a lot of people use that kind of stuff, like for just like entry-level computers and shit. And so, oh my, everyone's all set up. No, yes, maybe so. Can't tell. Oh shit! Fucking yes! It's here. It's here. It's here. Queen Bess is here. Queen Bess is here. Queen Bess is here. Thank you, Warboss. I appreciate it, dude. Alright, so it looks like everything's getting set up here. I'm waiting until everything's kind of solidified a little bit more before kind of going into things. We'll kind of hang back a bit. Okay, we'll hang back all the way up here on the top of this fucking Tower of Hoeth. It's the ghost of Spartacus's sleeves. Oh, yep, see? Take a look. Right there. Hola, ninja. He'll come up right to the doorway and stay there, and he'll just meow at me because he wants me to go pet him. Okay. Yeah, Ninja's the cat's name. There's another orange cat. His name's Orange Cat. Okay, are we done setting up? Alright, well, this is done setting up. So, looks like we have a real huge front line of zombie pirate deckhand mobs. Staggered here too, which is pretty good, because that way it allows them to kind of still charge while they're getting just mulched apart. We have a showing here of the Shade Wraith Gunners. They have the 245 range, so these now are like the furthest, like, you know, missile infantry. These guys, dude, look at this. Boom, they have Discourage with their attacks. They have magic attacks. They do AP damage. They shoot so far. Like, look at how far that range is. From here to here. Like, that's massive. And I spoke about earlier about not having carronades or mortars. Well, here we go. King of the Dead brought mortars. He brought another set of mortars. And then he brought the King of Mortars itself, Queen Bess. Look at that fucking thing. And he's protecting Queen Bess. It's an all-in on Queen Bess, so he has got Death Guard with polearms right next to it. I don't see a Gunnery White. Oh, no, there we go. There we go. Gunnery White, a Gunnery White right there. This will, and he only took the ability to replenish ammunition. This is going to be able to keep Queen Bess above 50% shooting non-stop for a lot of the fight, actually. And he just took a Vampire Fleet Admiral with a polearm and vampires. So this will allow him to do the summoning of the drowned, and he'll also have Invocation to Heck as well. But take a look here. All hands, horns, the lovely Hornswaggle. Yeah, so just drowned out an Invocation to Heck there. He stayed pretty lean on that. And the rest is just zombie deckhands here. Another unit of deck gunners. But yeah, this is a very, very gunpowder heavy, very defensive build. It looks like King of the Dead wants Xiphos to come to him. He's trying to play into that game. And Xiphos has got an army that can do it. He's got a lot of White Lions of Trace here, which are an interesting thing to take here, to be totally honest. Their Lion Cloak is not going to be hugely advantageous here. I mean, it does give them a slight little bonus towards missile resistance, but not a huge amount. So I think they're going to get mulched up pretty hot and heavy. They're in small units, 75 unit chunks, so they'll be hit really hard by a Queen Bess shot or by a mortar shot. He has a High Mage on a horse with Apotheosis and Soul Quench again. We also see a Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, and it looks like it's got no ranks on it, so just a standard edition one. Unit of archers, and then I think some Shadow Warriors here in the flanks. Who is his lord? Oh, Tyrion. So Tyrion also got a buff here, guys. God, he's just such a cool looking model. Tyrion. So he got a nice little bonus here as well to his AP. There's 310 AP now. So he'll be doing a lot of stuff here. If he gets into close combat. Another unit of archers, and then lots of Shadow Warriors. Now, 4 units of Shadow Warriors, in fact. Now, this is actually not a crazy play here. This is something that Turin actually discovered when we were talking about the early game of playing against Vampirates. The biggest way to really do this against them is to surround them with range units like this. You can actually do a lot of the first shot by Queen Bess. Where will it land? Where will it land? Where will it land? Where will it land? It'll land right here. Oh, like I said, one shot from Queen Bess knocks out almost a full quarter of its health. Soul Quench right into Queen Bess. Actually doing a considerable amount of damage. I was actually pretty surprised right there. Now, we were talking about the Shadow Warriors and their ability to really just kind of get around and harass. Mortar shots being lobbed into them. Boom. Boom. Doesn't do a significant amount of damage because they're not as tightly packed, but it will do damage over time. I mean, these things are shooting non-stop at them pretty much. But you've already got... Oh my god, almost this one's almost completely knocked out. Queen Bess launching again into this unit. It does leave that little trail of destruction after every shot. An overcasted Drowned Dead summon here. Hey, nope. No ninja. The... He's just snooping around like here. You can check him out. Right there, he's right there. The Gunnery White's already starting to shoot into... I'm sorry, the Deck Gunner's already shooting across over here into these Shadow Warriors. Shadow Warriors, again, though, still shooting... Oh, and Queen Bess is destroyed by a Soul Quench. Holy crap, that's a huge amount of points just knocked out of the game in the first initial minute and a half, 2 minutes of the game. He's good. He's a good cat. He's just chilling there. You can see now... This is what I was talking about, is getting that wraparound with those range units. Now, the big thing here is going to be wading through a lot of this. The White Lions will win this matchup handedly. And they've got enough of Apotheosis to really keep them up and running. And you've got the Shadow Warriors that are going to be able to pour out a lot of damage. Uh-oh. Womp! Sunfang ripping through right there. Where is Tyrion? I cannot find Tyrion. Oh, there it is. Right by Queen Bess. Looking to take down that Vampire Fleet Admiral. King of the Dead did a really cool, risky move here in kind of doing this very different approach, just kind of surrounding. And he's doing a lot of initial damage to the Vampire Fleet Admiral. If he can get that High Mage in here to get a little Apotheosis, which he has done, never mind, there it is. But he's going to be starting to get into a pretty risky situation. He's taking out Queen Bess's artillery there, or crew there. I thought it was the Gunnery White. But if he's trying to knock out that Fleet Admiral, he's got to stay on him. And you can see the Shadow Warriors just doing what they can to kind of carry the line. Oh, Soul Quench! Wow, dude! They changed that. That did a crap ton of damage to those Depth Guard. And it did a really cool effect. It just came everywhere. A good cat ninja. Check him out. Ninja cam. Boop. High Mage kind of just skirting around. Getting in there. Apotheosis again, probably kicking on over there. The White Lions kind of doing what they can. Winning and losing engagements across the line. The Shadow Warriors here, I mean, if you take a look at their matchup, I mean, they've got better melee attack and defense, 38 to 34 versus, you know, 17 to 4. Well, when the mortar comes into the equation, I guess you just can't win that one. I guess I've never really seen a side shot of Soul Quench like that, Glass Cannon, so good call there. Just barely squeezing away. Almost at his healing cap here for the Vampire Fleet Admiral. I mean, those are Depth Guard with polearms, so they're going to be very scary if you take a look here. They have a whopping 46 melee defense, and if the Regiment Now ones have even more. Oh, damn! This is not going to be a great matchup for them, but just any kind of initial damage, I guess. Better than nothing. Now, it's going to be a matter of... They've been kiting around these zombie pirate deckhands almost the entire game, but getting those Shadow Warriors onto those hard targets hard and fast is really going to be the difference here. But oh no! Tyrion is surrounded by polearms. He's in bad shape. He does have Apotheosis on him, but I don't think he's going to pull out of this one. You still got this Eagle Cloud Bolt Thrower shooting down range, but I just don't think it's going to be doing a significant amount of damage now at this point. Ooh! Heart of Avalorn kicking off on Tyrion, bringing him back up beyond 50% health. A great little move there, a good investment that was really well used. Well, really got a choice. A nice full unit of White Lions of Trace. Going to be able to eat through the Tides of Skill probably pretty well here. Shadow Warriors now choosing new targets to kind of switch up there. Moving all the way over here to these Zombie Pirate deckhands, trying to just break them apart, free up more and more White Lions. You've had this unit just kind of chipping away almost the entire game at these guys. Needs archers into range. Looks like they're just going to focus on the Fleet Admiral, try and free up Tyrion to do damage to other things, get that mage into combat with him. I mean, the Fleet Admiral still can do 400 melee attacks, so it is pretty scary there. Ooh, a summon up of Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mob. A good way to get out of there quick on that mage. She could have been swallowed up pretty quickly there. White Lions kind of slowly but surely winning their fight over here. The balance of power has shifted pretty heavily in the favor of the High Elves. The Death Guard are, for the most part, all kind of mulched out, and once these guys are deleted from the game, it'll be pretty much a win for the High Elves. Ooh, Van Horseman Speculum, though. Getting these Shadow Warriors into combat. Again, these guys are going to be great combatants against the zombies who just really can't really go toe-to-toe with them. Got a unit of White Lions now freed up over here. Everything just to kind of mass converge on the Vampire Fleet Admiral, who has just now lost, and the whole army is gonna crumble. And there it is, our first win for the High Elves, and the first win for King of the Dead, bringing it up 1-1 in the series here. And these guys are on frenzy, so they'll just kind of do their thing now. But that was a pretty intense one. Woo! So this is a best of 5. Look at him just staring at me. All right. So the wrap-up does really well against vampires. They usually don't have they usually don't have that level of mobility to deal with a wrap-up like that. And I mean, you can take a look. The real VIPs of that game were the Shadow Warriors, because they were able just to do so much damage to all the critical targets. They knocked out, I mean, the mortars only got, Queen Bess only got 15 kills. One mortar got 58, which is really doing quite a bit of damage, but the other one was knocked out so quickly by a combined anti-large target bolt from the bolt thrower and from the Shadow Warriors. I mean, 91, 98, 76, 98. Then all those, look at those White Lions. 172, 95, 88, 139, 92. I mean, that's... Nope. No. Good cat. Thank you, Ninja. But I mean, it is against zombies, so that is to be expected. Oh, God. I thought King of the Dead was the High Elves there. Well, my bad. It is 2-0 Zyphos. Whoops. Not the first time I've done that. So 2-0 Zyphos. If Zyphos wins this next one, he takes the cup home. Whoo! Wowzers. Alright, so King of the Dead switches to his default, his best army, the Tomb Kings, to try and win this one. Let's see how it goes. Yeah? There he is, right there, just chilling, looking at me. He's like, could you just please come pet me? He's like, please just come and pet me. Oh! Any part of the house with a sick burn! So guys, again, 25% does go towards bring the cat here. No. Cat, man. 25% does go towards the winner here, so it looks like I think we're at a total of like $15 and 25% of that will go. Can you see the cat? Yeah, you can see him, can't you? You can't see me. You just nope. He's a very attentive, like really good cat. I am afraid to pick up cats. I'm not even fucking around. I don't like picking cats up because they have like weapons for hands. So while they're picking, I can see if I can bring them. Hey, come here. First time you've ever been in my room. You impress the 300 some people, the 208. Oh, I know you like it. Like if I just hold my fingers like that, he'll just push into it. Oh, he's the cheek rubs. Okay, there we go. See, and see, he just jumps right off. He doesn't want to be on my lap. He like falls asleep on my roommate's lap all the time. I'm too afraid to like pick him up and show him to you. I'm sorry, guys. It's terrifying. Cats are horrifying to me. Yeah. He's like a super vocal cat too. Like he will he'll like sometimes sit at the come up here if you want, but you gotta jump up here, bro. I'm not picking you. I've just picked you up and you jumped off. Still waiting for them to ready up. So this is not completely wasted time. If he sees birds, he just kind of goes like tries to mimic them. See, here he is. Meow, 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 meow. Is this the correct map? It is not the correct map. I will switch it. Warpstone Mine is what. Oh, he's actually not fat. I'm just holding him funky. Oh. They're about to ready up, so I'm gonna remove the ninja. Okay. I just like, it's like cats to me are like cats are like babies. When someone goes, "Oh, here you go, here you hold my baby," I'm like, and I have like a 2 and a 4-year-old niece or niece and nephew, so it's like I know how to hold a baby, but I'm just terrified of them. Oh, Gornall, I totally agree, man. 100% I'm a dog person. That's my roommate's cat, and it's the only cat I've ever liked. I fucking hate cats. Dogs are like, "Oh, hey, did you want to pet me? Because I want to pet me." And cats are like, "Hey, I have weapons for hands, so if you want to touch me, you could get fucked up in a second." Yeah, babies don't have claws and attack impulses. All right, they are ready. Let's get it going on. Yeah, absolutely. You can just be an animal person, Chris. Nothing wrong with that. If I saw someone like punch a cat, I'd get mad as fuck. Like, but I just don't like cats, bro. See, people always like, "Oh, but a cat is so low maintenance." Are you kidding me? A cat is extremely high maintenance. A dog, you just have to clean up after. That's it. Where do I keep the pile of warp dust? In my PayPal. All right, guys. So we're gonna be seeing Xiphos and King of the Dead. This I love this fucking map so much. There's a reason it's the thumbnail. True fact, Indie Pride actually inspired this map. He wrote a very long fever dream email to Rich over at CA, the head of the new content team, explaining how one of his poops in his own toilet looked exactly like this, and he was like, "It'd be a great for a map. Imagine it kind of like one of my poops ripping through the terrain." And Rich said, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, I'll put it into consideration." And so, lo and behold, this map is based off of Indie Pride's actual poop. Can confirm. See, he confirmed it. He confirmed it. All right, so we have Tomb Kings versus the Vampire Counts, which is extremely thematic. We know that the Priest Kings of old swept through Old Lamia, destroying the first initial capital of the Vampire Counts here. So they're here to get revenge. Of course, these are not Lamian vampires, but still. Nods approvingly, like, that'll do. Okay, so let's take a look at who we have. Is this a Blood Dragon or Red Duke? Okay, the Red Duke on a Zombie Dragon. I don't know why that shield looks new to me, but it's there. And the Red Duke, of course, is always so strong. He does have his ability, Elseef, the Northern Sword, as it's called. Minus 48 to speed, to physical resistance, and to melee defense, making him just a terror in the night. It looks like he has taken quite a few spells here, though. Oh, no, just Raise Dead, Invocation of Heck. Okay, for some reason, I thought there was more there. One thing I actually like to take with the new Blood Dragon Lord is Dance Macabre, because it's actually just makes him even scarier to attack. And we also have a Terrorgeist, so just one Terrorgeist, which is nice here. Quite a lot of Fellbats, 1, 2, 3 Fellbats. Those will be nice for getting to the back line. Some zombies for some tar pit action across the way is what it looks like as well. 1 Varghulf here. Varghulf, always a great choice when it comes to cracking apart large amounts of armored units. So it's always an interesting one here. But still, nonetheless, it does regenerate. It is very, 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 very fast. at a whopping 80 speed and does some nice AP damage, and it does some really impressive guerrilla pounding for its attack animation. Now we have 3 or 4 units of Graveguard. Just 3 units of Graveguard, with some Masters of the Blood Keep here. The Blood Knights, some of my favorite units in the game. Now these guys are some of the only real anti-large you see in the Vampire Counts roster, and really this is the only anti-large I see in this army as a whole. Yep, and then lastly, we have a Corpse card here. Now the Corpse card here with the Unholy Lodestone gives us this nice ability, gives a nice good regen, and then lastly it has Vigor Mortis, which gives some melee defense and melee attack. It does have to be in combat for that to happen, but still, it is great. Great ability nonetheless. Now, taking a look at our Tomb Kings for King of the Dead, this is his bread and butter. This is what he has to do. If he doesn't do this, he will lose. He will lose this fight if it doesn't happen. So we've got 3 units of Skeleton Spearmen, one of them being the King Snekash's Scorpion Legion, which are basically the same ones, just they have poison. Now, in addition to that, we've got 3 units of Ushabti, just standard edition Ushabti. Cool thing about this is Shabti, the word Shabti means worker in Egyptian. I went to the King Tut exhibit and learned that myself. They actually have like little idols called Shabti. It's pretty cool. They use them as workers in the afterlife. Then we've got Cetra the Imperishable on foot, which is a rare choice, but I like it. It's pretty risky, but pretty fun. Necrotect, which gives the ability to buff all of... Oh, yeah, he took the buff here. 5 AP and melee attack to all of the constructs around him, and the ability to heal the constructs as well. And then 2 units of Tomb Guards with halberds. 3 units of Tomb Guards with halberds, but then look at this. Look at this. This is the dreaded Tomb Scorpion build that King of the Dead has used before. With 2 Tomb Scorpions, they're going to have a field day here. So let's have some great fun. Let's do it. Can we get King of the Dead on the scoreboard here, or will Xiphos win in a 3-0 in the finals of the Grand... Not an Overwatch Cup. This is... in a Grand Warpstone Cup. On the titular map, you know? Look at it, man. I'm stoked. Let's see how this goes. And as Any Pride pointed out, this is not a risky move. He doesn't want this to get gooned. Well, I agree. I just always like to see him on a horse. Moving up, getting a little better positioning here, as you can see. No, there is one Terrorgeist, Severian. Severian. Clever Ryan is almost what it looks like. Things kind of forming up here. We're getting the... what might possibly be the last match here today. We'll see what goes on. Basically, AJ. So if something's gooned, a gooning in this case would be if Cetra was like just gets attacked by the Red Duke and the Terrorgeist and just gets completely swarmed. Like the bats are coming in here. We've got some very tentative play here, trying to get the initial charge going. Where it's going to be, where things going for. These fell bats are obviously going to be used to shut down any Ushabti Great Bows, but that's not the case here. So these fell bats have, I mean, there's a full 100% air superiority for the Vampire Counts. They can pick and choose wherever they want things to go. Ooh, look at them just kind of positioning up. And then the initial tar pit makes contact here. These zombies jumping in, kind of just pushing things into really a useless fight for the zombies. They're going to get killed, but this does prevent them from, the units itself from getting around moving. Oh! I thought we were going to get a little scream from the Terrorgeist, but I guess not. Very tentative moves. Oh, there it is. Didn't do a ton of damage, but it did a little bit into these into the King Neketh's Scorpion Legion. And the Terrorgeist jumping immediately onto Cetra there. Got the Corpse Card in there as well, bringing in these Graveguard to help reinforce that. The battle is underway. Now, interesting move here, bringing those Blood Knights into that as well. There's not really a large target for them, but I think he's just trying to get an overall wrap up in that situation. You've got the Felbass kind of in the background, kind of harrying, getting ready to have choose their move. Now, you see here, there it is, Ustef's Incantation of Desiccation, minus 44 to melee attack and 27 to melee defense. So things are going to start getting hit really hard here. You got the Tomb Scorpion. That attack animation just rips through the ground and pops up. So it can move all over the place. But a total wraparound here with Cetra involved has been the target. Elsif, was not triggered, but the Red Duke is in very, very bad shape. He's been charged now by some 2 guards with halberds. They do have anti-large, they do have AP. It's in a really, really risky spot here for the Red Duke. He does have to push out of that, or else he's going to be smashed apart very fast here. This is King of the Dead's like bread and butter army. This is what he's very good at, so he knows a lot of these matchups through and through. So this is really playing into his advantage here. He does have his Blood Knights engaged here as well in a not as favorable one, but he's starting to finally get them onto the Tomb Scorpions, which is better. He's getting those Varghulf onto the Tomb Scorpions as well, help to kind of gorilla pound those things. But Cetra is here running wild. Oh god, the Red Duke is just not in a good state here. Everything has just been congealed into this center mass here. There are some little engagements going on over here, but this is mainly just 1 unit of Graveguard, or no, it's not even a unit of Graveguard, is it? Yeah, it's 1 unit of Graveguard and a unit of zombies, just kind of squaring off against other things, but everything is right here. It's an all-in right here in the very center. Red Duke is back up in the air. I think got a Invocation of Heck onto him as well. An upgraded one too. That should be pretty good for him. He's probably looking for a place to use his Pestilent Breath. Let's see how that can go. Terrorgeist is in bad shape as well, but he does have Invocation on him. One of those Tomb Scorpions is in bad shape. Oh, there's that Pestilent Breath. Try to get it onto those Tomb Guard with Halberd. Didn't get a chance to really do a ton of damage. So it did do whatever it could, but I don't think it really got a chance. One of the Tomb Scorpions is under half health, which does bode very well for the vampire counts. Red Duke kind of flying above, looking to get what kind of damage he can do. Look at this. Bringing those banners down here, guys, it's a little bit easier to navigate. A little Terrorgeist Scream here, a little shriek into that action. Oh, man. That Varghul is just getting slapped aside by the combined charges into this. Things are getting knocked all over the place. What I think that should be done here is those Tomb Scorpions are going to be very dangerous. So, another Ustef's Desiccation's going off. I'll make sure of that. Yeah, Desiccation going off as well. You can see here that he's trying very hard to goon down Cetra, and it's not posing very well. And I think that one of the better targets might be at this point is the Necrotech. Even though he's a really good combatant, and sure you want to get Cetra out of the way and you want to knock out those Tomb Scorpions, but the Necrotech is a pretty easy target. I think. Let's take a look at. Oh, yep, there they are. The Blood Knights are really in poor health here. Things are not looking good for a lot of the very threatening things from the vampire counts. The left flank is pretty much all done with. The right flank, again, really not. It's really inconsequential when it as compared to the main battle here. Both of those who shop here are going to be able to pour into this. The Unholy Lodestone is kind of just sitting there, able to do its thing though, which is kind of nice. Oh, big explosion here from Cetra. Whoo! Varghulf getting a little low on morale there, but coming back and forth. That's a kind of annoying thing about a Varghulf. It does have very low leadership, so it starts to lose its binding quite quickly. Yeah, but look at this. Red Duke in terrible, terrible shape. He's not at his healing cap, though, but the Terrorgeist is, so hopefully he can get another shot of Invocation of Heck on him. Ushabti coming in here, probably focusing right for that corpse cart. You've got the... Oh, Blood Knights are almost out of it. I mean, at this point... it's going to be a pretty foregone conclusion, methinks. I think that the thing that's going to last to the bitter end are going to be these 3 large creatures, but there's almost no infantry left. There's such a huge amount of Tomb Kings on the table still. Balance of power is still even, but it's just because one of these fat things hasn't fallen yet. The Unholy Lodestone will be massive as well. So much spooky, scary skeleton action going on. Pestilent Breath ripping out. Ooh, doing a pretty good chunk there, but Rumble Soul's coming and another Shopti summon, so they can pick and choose this wherever they want. As you can see, both of these Tomb Scorpions are almost back at full health. Been healed up by the Necrotect. Another summon of those Ushapti, trying to muck up these zombies here. Or, I'm sorry, not these zombies. This, never mind, I thought something landed there. Bullshit. Alright. Everything is on the ground. Everything is fighting. Those Tomb Scorpions are ripping stuff asunder. I think that's just a little bit easier to watch without it getting choppy. Those banners, for some reason, just pull down the FPS. Red Duke back up in the air. Terrorgeist's health chipping away hard and heavy. Vargulf completely surrounded. Just doing a lot of cycle charging with the Red Duke as best he can. Another Pestilent Breath. Right into Cetra, actually. Knocked a really good chunk of Cetra's health out. But I think we're just going to see too much at this point. I mean, there's too much anti-large in here still. There's still some halberds. There's still spearmen. But, I mean, King of the Dead, or Xiphos, is holding on tooth and nail here. I mean, he's doing what he can. I mean, oh. That action kicking off. That was the physical resistance buff. Oh, that was actually Invocation of Heck. Oh, and the Red Duke goes down. As soon as he does, the rest of the army will fall. Yep, there it is. Army loss is kicking in. And things are falling apart. So, we see what happens. King of the Dead has come up. He is now 1-2, with Xiphos being still 1 ahead of him. If Xiphos wins one more match, he will win this tournament here. Hey, wrong thing. That's what I want. Man, that was wet and wild there. All right, so we can see here again. A lot of this is against chaff, so it's hard to get a good indication of the success of stuff. But the Tomb Scorpions were able to deal so much damage to all the large, big-bodied targets. All those Ushapti were dealing out so much. So that was a real great, like, kind of third round match. I was really stoked to see that. So coming into the Ruins of Parravon here is our next map. It should be pretty interesting because we've seen a lot of great play out of Xiphos, a lot of really crazy, interesting builds. That was a little bit more of a normal build, though. That was a pretty kind of standard Vampire Counts build. And I don't know if that was what lost it for him, but I think King of the Dead is more used to playing builds like that. And as a result, I think he had a lot of really good answers for that situation. We saw in the previous 2 builds, you know, Xiphos had a lot of different things going on for him. Like in his high health build, he had 4 Shadow Warriors that were just used to kind of harass around the entire perimeter of the Vampirates. And we saw in his Wood Elf build, he used 4 Way Watchers and was deleting units at a time. So Xiphos does have a really great way of just choosing slightly different things, or things that are actually a little bit on point that just kind of do just the right amount of damage. Chilling over there. I'm going to lean back a little bit. My back's a little sore. All right, Arthur. Have a good one, dude. Thanks for joining me, brother. What, $50, Misha? What are you talking about? Yeah, what's going on in chat? Oh, titty bear. All right, so it looks like Zypos is moving on to the Dark Elves. See what King of the Dead choose. Oh, there's a competitive scene, Blaze. It's growing. King of the Dead is definitely the underdog right now. He is down 1 game, and Zypos is 1 away from winning. Purple game gone wild in the 90s. All right, so we're looking at Dark Elves versus Norsca. Interesting choice. King of the Dead does like his Norsca, though. A mad lad did it. Holy shit. Game 4 hype. Titty Bear made a whopping $50 donation to the prize pool. That puts us at $65 total. That is gonna, a quarter of that goes to the winner. Titty Bear, thank you very much, man. He said if it goes to game 4, I will make a $50 donation, and he honored that. Who else? What's our likes to view ratio right now? Whiskey Jack, Misha, what report? Guys, if you haven't gotten a chance and you do like a lot of this stuff, go check out Turin's channel. If you like a lot of competitive multiplayer play, go check out Milk and Cookies Total War. He's in Indie Pride. He's in the chat right now. He's got a lot of competitive play as well. I don't put up as much. I just like to cast more than I like to play it. Oh my god. We need more likes. Guys, press the thumb button. Thumb me, bros. Thumb me. Thumb my butthole. We need 40 likes stat. I always like having over 100% likes. Titty Bear's got me. I got you, fam. They're putting the finishing touches here. Can King of the Dead come back from this one? Can Norsca pull ahead on Dark Elves? And this is honestly, I don't think this is I don't think this matchup. Hey, thank you for subscribing. I don't know if those got is that kanji? Is that Japanese or is that Chinese characters? It looks like Japanese, but I don't know. I don't really know. I like that, Dr. Z. Dr. Z, I like to imagine this matchup is two. I see. What is that? Oh, it's linked to churn. Okay. I mean, if someone's going to link to turn, Indy, you can feel free to link yourself, bro. Low motion, thank you for subscribing. Your subscription is good. Oh yeah, there you go. There's milk and cookies. Hey, Tarantino. Spoiler alert, motherfucker. Giant Warpstone poo. Guys, you can thank Indie Pride for the giant Warpstone poop map. A glass cannon, I've seen that, and it's a doozy. All right, guys, we are both ready. Let's get it going. That's actually a really good point, Crisps. Everything in Warhammer Fantasy is like, well, they'll come back in the end times. Because I think that the end times is something they never ever plan to actually do. All right. Norsca, Dark Elves. This could go a lot of different ways. You've got a lot of different situations that could go here. You could go with like a stronger, or not stronger, a heavier Marauder champion army with some like big beasts. You could go with a lot of cav play to kind of like muck up a lot of the backline of the Dark Elves. Dark Elves alternatively could just go with a very strong front line. I mean, there's a lot of different options both armies have, so I'm pretty stoked to see what we see here with Xiphos' armies, especially because I wonder how kind of different that they will be. Also with King of the Dead here, definitely fighting to stay in this. He won that last one. He played his go-to with the Tomb Kings, but I don't know if Norsca is going to be the matchup that he wants it to be against Dark Elves. They have a lot of like critical answers for Norsca, so we'll see what happens here. Close that poll. Take a look what you guys thought. No, Ninja. 7 of you think King of the Dead's gonna win. I'm gonna do this again. This poll is back up. I want to see what you guys think. This is the last fight here. Hey, Backyardy, how are you, dude? Ninja just wants to be pet again, bros. Right there, he's chilling. Okay, ooh, this has got some fun stuff in it. Let's take a look over here. Looks like Xiphos has set up everything. Ooh, Cold One Knights, okay. Got some Cold Knights, which are, you know, some good anti-large, some good AP that could be used to focus things down. They do, unfortunately, have Primal Instincts. They can Frenzy, and, or not Frenzy, Rampage and lock themselves down, which just really sucks. I just really hate that. If they got rid of that, that'd be so much better. So, let's take a look here. Okay, he's moving some stuff around, so we'll let him do his thing, I guess. Not sure anymore. Vote 3 to pet cat. Cat's just chilling over there. Everyone wants us to have YouTube drama. Indiana Pride and I have that conversation all the time. Like, dude, we gotta start some serious YouTube drama. I'm like, yeah, the drama is you made a map that's dedicated to your poop. Okay, so looks like this is a little bit more set up now, at least somewhat. Now he's got some good Bleak Swords, which are a great answer to the majority of the line of the Norskins. I mean, Marauder Chieftains are going to beat them apart, but Marauders, Marauder with Great Weapons, Bleak Swords will kind of trade into them a little bit better. Now he does have some Dark Shards here as well. Looks like just a single unit of... Damn it. Single unit of Dark Shards. He's got 3 total units of Blackguard of Naggarond here, which will be a really great answer to stuff like Mammoths, Manticores, any of the Chaos Trolls. I'm getting fucking dyslexic. I'm going to throw up. Also, we have some Blackheart Corsairs and some more Bleak Swords in the back here. Interesting formation on Xiphos' part. Then we also have Malekith on Seraphon himself.
Fortune favors the infamous.
Oh, James, hi, back to you, man. I absolutely respect I'll absolutely respect that. Thank you very much for your donation, too, man. I very much appreciate it, dude. Okay, so Malekith, we see he's got Gaze of Malice here, a very, very strong option, especially against Norsca's lighter army, or lighter... I think he's just doing it to piss me off. Lighter armored armies. We also see Chillwind on here as well, and Soul Stealer. Soul Stealer will allow him to tank a lot of damage. And of course, you know, the Noxious Breath that is included with all Black Dragons. Now, we also have the Raven Heralds here. Now, these guys are basically your regiment. They are your regiment of renowned Dark Riders with Rapier crossbows. They have these awesome Dark Pegasi that give them AP damage. Now, don't be fooled here. It does say 58 missile damage, but it's because they have a vastly smaller unit count. So their AP damage is about on scale with about anything else of this sort. They're not like they're dealing dealing out like vastly more AP damage than a unit, the repeater crossbow unit of dark riders. It's just it scales out to their unit size. Now, as far as this goes, scoreboard. As far as the Marauders goes, we have a long line of Marauders, then Marauder Champions, and Marauders. So I'm really stoked on this. I really like the Marauder Champion play here, because Marauder Champions have really good armor. They have got shields here, only bronze shields. They don't have as great of a... Indy Pride, let me know if you know off the top of your head. Is it 35%? Never mind, it tells me right there. 35% for bronze. I think it's 50% for silver shields. So a lot of great options here with the Marauder Champions. I think it's a really great choice against what would have otherwise been a lot of archery play. Nice Marauders in the front. And Marauder Hunters with Javelins on both of the flanks. And then Marauder Spearmen to support them and in the back. And then 2 units of Skin Wolves followed by... Oh, look at this guy. Wolfric on the Mammoth itself. And this is awesome. This is going to be such a cool fight here. I'm stoked to see how this guy goes out. Then, of course, a Shaman with Death. Let's see what Death spells he's got. Soul Blight and... or, I'm sorry, Fate of Buna and Spirit Leech. I always think the Soul Blight one is... The Fate of Buna one is Soul Blight. Alright, things are moving forward. Also have a Feral Manticore, don't forget that. Making my rap diss about Sparty. Yeah, that'd be so funny. Alright, and a good initial play there, but they do have to watch out for those Javelins. I mean, with the lower unit count, they can get mucked up pretty fast, and those Feral Manticores are not slow. The Shades, there we go. Shades and the Dark Shards are the only ranged units that we're seeing over here, so... this is a more narrow elite army for the Dark Elves versus a wider one. So they have the risk of being wrapped up on a lot of stuff here, so they have to be pretty careful. Missing that whole volley there. We can probably get an early Gaze of Malice here for some early destruction. Again, very tentative early play here. Don't want to get too... Ooh... Too drawn out. Oh, look at those Javelins just ripping up stuff. Already lost 1 model. I thought Malachus was going to come over here and use a Gaze of Malice or do something to lock down the Mana Core, but I guess not. Mana Core is just going to get hit by the Dark Shards there, shooting into it. Oh, Dark Shards are choosing over into the Skin Wolves. Or, I'm sorry, the... Javelins was probably actually a pretty good target for them. Alright, first engagement of these Marauders into these Bleak Swords here. Oh, yeah. Important thing is you always want to make sure you're charging your units, even if you want them to take that charge. You want to make sure they get their charge bonus. So you always want to get that charge going on. Dark Shards shooting over into the Marauder Hunters with Javelins. Skin Wolves looking to get a little rear charge going on over here. Oh, there's that Gaze of Malice right here in these Marauder Champions. Doesn't do a ton of damage because these guys are a little bit more heavy armored. But the Gaze of Malice would do a lot of damage to, say, these Marauder Hunters with Javelins and such. Those Javelins are just trading so well into those Dark Shards, doing tons of damage. This one unit is almost completely gone. Oh! Mammoth just bucking wildly into those Bleak Sword. Skin Wolves jumping all the way up here. The Feral Manticore into those Shades as well. Got the Black Guard of Nagron here, ready to support them, though. Not going to be good for that Feral Manticore. Oh, Chill Blast. Can't remember the name of it. Right into those units of Champions. And you've got Malekith here jumping onto Wolfric the Wanderer. Oh, man. Wolfric is going hot. Oh, watch this. It's just going to go down this line of Bleak Swords here. There it goes. Got the Black Ark Corsairs coming in out of reserve here. Dark Shards are now routing off as well as those Shades, which is not good. But Spirit Leech onto these Raven Heralds who are just picking off Wolfric here. Just combine fire into him. You got Malekith in pretty good strength here. Oh, getting these Black Guard, trying to intercept. They just get trudged over. They lost women from full health to about, lost a quarter health there just from not being able to be braced into that charge. Raven Herald's all getting picked off again. Jade's coming back online, trying to get more shots in the Wolfric. The initial play here is definitely for Xiphos to knock out King of the Dead's Wolfric the Wanderer. If he can do that, he's going to be able to do a significant amount of damage to the morale of the army. And oof, and it's looking like it might happen. The Dark Shards are coming back online over here. Noxious Breath, ripping, or Pestilent Breath, or whatever the hell breath it is, Noxious Breath, ripping into these Marauder champions. A nice Chill Blast again down the line. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but does slow things down significantly. Damn. Gaze of Malice kicking out here. Oh, just barely gets off, knocking some of those Marauder Spearmen in, which is good because Marauder Spearmen are low in armor there. Man, look at that. The 100 Javelins are going to do a lot of damage here to Malekith, though, so he does have to be careful. And there's now, you can see that Wolfric is over there, really has free reign of things. He's pushing in these Kolba Knights probably directly over to Wolfric. He's got to try and help out Malekith, though, so he's probably going to, looks like he's going to plug this gap here. Stop that Mana Core charge. Try and get Malekith out of this fight. He has been locked down here with Hunter of Champions. Minus 48 to speed, minus 30 to armor, and minus 45 to melee defense here. Whew, things are getting pretty hog wild. Skin Wolves jumping into these Dark Shards. You have some Bleak Swords looking to back them up as well. There's stuff rallying in the background here. Wolfric is still just barely hanging on. If something can kind of turn the tide here and kill Wolfric, it's going to be pretty good for the Dark Elves, but it might be a little too late at this point. Raven Herald still just taking pot shots at him. A Soul Stealer would be pretty good here for Malekith. Looking just to take out that Feral Mana Core, really end it. Jared, go to my room. I just came home. Oh man, Wolfric almost down and out. So close. He's so close. Malekith over here, trying to deal with these Skin Wolves, trying to deal with this Fatal Manticore. If he uses a Soul Stealer, he'll be able to really kind of heal him up a little bit, but I don't know if he can get it off. I don't think he's got the what's it called? The Winds of Magic. And oh, here it is. That army loss is kicking in. The Dark Elves have lost. King Xiphos loses again. We're down to a 2-2 match now. Xiphos versus King of the Dead in a winner-take-all 5th round, guys. Whew. Man. Dude, look at that. Wolfric got 135 kills. Even 118, though, on Malekith. But still, dude, Wolfric was just slamming through the line. It was a very interesting build for Xiphos. I think he went with too many Black Art of Naggarond. I think he should have gone with... If he had one more unit of archers, he would have been able to kill Wolfric. And that would have really done a huge amount of damage to the entire morale of the Norskins. And I think that was his big loss right there. Xiphos didn't need that many Black Art of Naggarond because they didn't end up doing that well for him. He had 7 kills on one of them. It was just pretty shitty. So if he had had one more, I think it would have helped out from the Raven Herald. It did do some kind of continuous damage to Wolfric, but I think that a better use here would have been either 2 Dark Riders with Repeater Crossbows or just normal Dark Riders. All right, our last match. It looks like they were going to do a gentleman's fun match, they said. Last map is the Ashenhall. Take a look at that scoreboard. Let me update it real quick here. And there we go. 2-2. And the last match here. Are the Norskins or Lizardmen in 40k? No, they are not, Backyardy. The Lizardmen are kind of in 40k because the old ones they look like Slan. Backyard, you said something way earlier. Let me see what it was, man. Because I love your videos and let's play it because I learned so much about the world of Warhammer. I was wondering how and when the events at Vermintide fit into everything. That's actually, so it's during the end times. You know who would be a really good person to answer that for you though? Is Milk and Cookies TW right there. Indy, do you want to answer Backyardy on where exactly where Vermintide fits into the end times kind of chronology? Space Dwarves were a faction. They were called Squats. It's not the start of end times, War Boss. Because a lot of stuff has already fallen completely. They mention exactly like what day what the date is, and I can't remember. The Milk and Cookies CW plays a lot of, or Indie Pride plays a lot of Vermintide. So if you do want to see a lot of that gameplay, you should definitely check out his channel. No, Altdorf didn't fall yet, but it's not. It's definitely not the beginning. Like a lot of stuff has fallen. They talk about certain things having fallen too. They're like, oh, this place fell. And if the Skaven have done what they're doing in this part of Vermintide, it's already after. Yeah, it's definitely in the middle of end times. It's after it's after Nagash. It's after Cain. It's definitely after Glotkin. I've done it before, Misha. We can definitely go back into it. Kislev is gone, yeah, because Kislev is after Glotkin. It's before Glotkin? Okay. So then Kislev probably hasn't fallen then. Yeah, definitely before the fall of Altdorf. For sure. Okay, Crisps, thank you. Yeah, because I remember they talk about certain things going on in the world that gives you a better idea of what the actual timeline is like, and I can't remember what some of the dialogue is. Jello wrestling with Sigmar? Holy shit. All right. Through a 3.5-hour stream, guys. Power armor squats look cool though. Yeah, dude, definitely, fucking for sure. And now, power armor dwarves are like chaos dwarves, or Ikit Claw is like a power armor Skaven. Which Primac lore video is next? Lehman Russ. I must get going soon, so we gotta get this one going. I've been streaming 3.5. All right, we are good to go. Our last fight here of the day. Warriors of Chaos versus Wood Elves. Who's going to win? We have currently $65 as the total prize pool. A quarter of that will be going towards the winner of the Everchosen Cup here today. Or not Everchosen Cup. The Warpstone Cup here today. We will see what happens. The Ashenhall is our final map. Looks like we're going to be seeing some Wood Elf play again from Zyphos and some Vampire counts from King of the Dead. So it should be very interesting. No, I don't, Tarantino. I would love if they did Lord of the Rings, though. Well, the rights for Lord of the Rings are held by Games Workshop. And all Games Workshop needs to do is say, here you go. If I had to live in the 40k universe, what would I be? Come on, a Space Marine. I still think the best compliment any of you guys have ever said to me was when one of you once said, dude, you look exactly like a fucking Space Marine. I was like, yes. Yes. See, there it is. Misha said it. Yes, Crisps, correct. But I'm pretty sure that Games Workshop can hand it over. I don't think it's... I think it's the right to make games, because there hasn't been a... Oh, well, that's actually not true. Because Warner Brothers has their own game studio. So never mind, I was full of shit. Yeah, everyone says Space Marines, that's boring. No, it's not. It's fucking awesome. What do I want to be? A fucking Eldar and worry about Slanesh eating my soul? I want to be a greenskin and be made of fungus? Or do I want to be a Tyranid and not have like a sentience at all? Or no. I'll be Chaos and just fucking jerk off on a planet all day. Or no. Better, I'll be Tau and I'll be like Earth cast, so all I'll do is make buildings. Fuck that. Make me a Space Marine, give me a bolter, and let me fuck something up. 2 sets of lungs, 3 hearts. Misha would be in the Imperial Guard, and then she'd be out of the Imperial Guard in 15 minutes. Oh, come on, HGM. Don't bring it up, bro. I had such high hopes. Okay, so let's take a look here. We'll go through this quickly. But I want to get to the meat and potatoes here. So again, a lot of Waywatcher play from Zyphos. 3 units of Waywatchers. We have a Glade Lord here, so Parravon going to be firing off all Hogwild. We're going to have some Dryad action. I think there's 2 units of Dryads? Yeah, 2 units of Dryads. Some Sisters of the Thorn. Then a Spellslinger of Life. 2 units of Wildwood Rangers, which I haven't seen in a long time. 2 units of War Dancers, 1 with Asterai Spears, and a unit of Eternal Guard. So, again, a very similar build to what we saw last time. A lot of melee mixed into a lot of range capability. Those Waywatchers are going to be able to do a ton of damage. Now we can see here across the front line for King of the Dead, a ton of Skeleton Spearmen, some Ghouls, 2 units of Ghouls, one of course being Feasters in the Dusk here. They have poison attacks, they have stock, pretty gnarly there. Then we have some Black Knights, which will be a pretty good unit here. They do have they have shields here, so they'll be able to resist some of the shots coming their way. But they'll be able to do a little bit of riding through their infantry, as well as some additional Black Knights. So what, 2 units? 2 units of Black Knights with a 3rd unit in the back, and then a Necrarch Vampire Lord. Interestingly enough, on a Nightmare. Look at that. Look at that. And then Varghulfs. I hate Vargheists. I hate Vargheists. 2 units of Vargheists, 4 units of Bats. Yeah, Black Knights that are colored bright red. good point. All right, the battle has kicked off. Let's see how this engagement goes. Both armies moving up. We have some Black Knights over here on the side as well. Oh, the Varix Reavers, which is a really great choice here. So those guys will have regeneration, which is awesome here. Oh, Way Watchers already choosing their targets on the Vargeists. Who, just look at this Air Force, man. Just... looking to just to hang up the Way Watchers. And this is a good little play here. Because these guys are worth a lot of points. And the Felibats are not. If they can just get them to stop moving... And oh man, oh man, oh man, Parravon Althrama onto this bad boy. So much damage. That was, did you see all those shots just ripping into him? Jeez. Felibats in there as well. You have all the Dryads in. Oh man, look at that. Shot after shot after shot after shot. It's a risky play here by King of the Dead. Trying to get those Black Knights in there though to kind of help out his lord. Put some more pressure onto those Way Watchers. But the rest of the army coming up here. No real elite infantry here, which is probably a little bit of which is not a bad play at all, I don't think. I think that the Neckarch Vampire is going to be summing up enough stuff to just kind of keep things nice and plugged. Oh no! Way Watchers just plucking into these guys. Vargeists pulling back out of the fray. Black Knights running through the back line. Oh, right into some Eternal Guard. Varix Reavers are not going to enjoy that. Oof. Way Watchers just, they have their targets, you know. They're just plugging away at them. Look at this just shit show of bats and death. See all those Sisters of Thorn in there, just completely surrounded. Volley after volley going across the way and into them. Oh, ripping through those Black Knights. How are these Black Knights doing over here? You have some of those Felibats jumping into those Way Watchers. More of them still shooting. You've got some summoned up zombies here. Trying to tar pit stuff as best as possible here. It's just a no-holds-bar shit show right now. Oh, it looks like all the micros kind of focus in one area. You can see like part of the army just kind of hanging out for a sec. Both these guys are very, very tired. They both have to go to sleep. Oh no! The Neckarch Vampire is not going to make it. Is not going to make it. Is not going to make it. Boom, 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 boom. Like each shot just, oh. God, he's so close. He's so close. Oh, and there it is. Neckarch Vampire is down. Without any ability to use their Winds of Magic, a whole portion of the tactics of the Vampire counts have been completely cut off. I just saw the balance of power shift hugely, like a huge 10-15% chunk for the Wood Elves. I'm watching, look at this. Look at how their troop count just dropping fast. Oh man. That Neckarch play, that double Parravon Althrama on them, double lockdown, Way Watchers able just to pin cushion that guy. Whew. Oh, boom. Another explosion? Oh, no. They're just casting little spells. And there it is. I think that is a win for Xiphos. Coming ahead here. It might be too early to call it, but I think at the same time, there's just not enough. There's still full units of spearmen that are just going to rip through the rest of these Black Knights. And that kind of spells the end for our Warpstone Grand Cup, more or less. Xiphos pulling it ahead with that Wood Elf play. This is the second time he's done Wood Elf to really, really great effect here. Vargeist just kind of jumping in wherever they can get purchase on. And this is, I don't really ever see Vargeist, but I think this wasn't a bad build. I don't think this was a terrible build. I think it just kind of got outplayed a little bit by Xiphos' build. I think that initial kind of panic-inducing Neckarch lockdown caused a lot of charges through the line with those Black Knights. They could have been better used in wraparounds and stuff like that. I think that pushing the Black Knights around the flanks and using the bats to push out the Way Watchers was a really good idea. They just needed to really commit to the flank attack, I think. But really great play from both these players. A huge shout out also to Zero and Janet on occasion, who played earlier in our matches and were knocked out by these two combatants. This has been a great tournament so far here, guys. As always, 25% of the donations do go towards the winner here today, which looks like it is going to be Xiphos as the army losses kick in. Guys, huge day here today. We have our first Grand Cup winner in Xiphos, pulling ahead 3-2, fifth match. It is complete. The Grand Cup is over. So we have a total of $65 in the pool. I will be waiting for that to come to me via YouTube, and then I will divide it up to the winner as necessary. You can see here, though, man, those Wildwood Rangers actually did pretty well here. 200, 63, 151, just chopping stuff up. Nothing really got a chance to really get off for King of the Dead, and he didn't, I mean, just nothing really got a chance to take hold and do the threat that he wanted. He wanted to shut down those Wave Watchers as best he could. And the Felbats, I think, was a really good play, but they just were able to outrun him so much better. All hail the Lord of the Wave Watchers. Thanks for casting. Absolutely, Wicked. All right, guys, that puts an end here to our tournament. Thank you guys so much for watching here today. Go ahead and roll these credits. Oh, no. Roll credits. 5. There we go. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much again. Always great to do these little tournaments. We will be doing another one. Be on the lookout for Turin's tournaments. He is doing his new it's like the Conquerors League or whatever it is. So we'll have that going on. I'll be casting on that every so often, but that's mainly Turin's thing. I'll just jump in whenever he needs me. But thank you guys so much for your donations, for subscribing here today, for jumping on board. Thank you guys to the competitors for playing. It was overall an amazing stream here today. We had 3.5, almost 4 hours of just righteous fury. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one today. We got some more videos coming out the rest of this week. We have our Blood Dragon video coming out on Friday, and something over the weekend that's a little bit of a surprise for y'all. All right, guys. You're welcome. Trying to see if I missed anything. First time watching. Thanks for hosting this. Abdullah, absolutely, man. Thanks for watching, man. Thanks to our moderators for watching chat very well. All right, guys. Well, anyway, have a good one. Thanks again for watching so much. Have a good one, and take care.